And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to YouTube Live and, of course, Flow Sports. This is the YOLO High Wheelers and the Oakland Ballers. So the visiting Oakland Ballers and the hometown YOLO High Wheelers getting set for action here this afternoon. This is Doug Greenwald here at Dobbins Stadium. Glad you can join us on this Tuesday afternoon. YOLO coming off a 6-6 road trip. Lost 4 out of 6 at Oakland, but came back and won 4 out of 6 in northern Colorado, where they seem to have quite an explosion of offense, and hopefully YOLO can keep that rolling into this series. Oakland comes in at 14-10, and YOLO at 11-10. So we are live on YouTube Live, also on Flow Sports. So again, happy to have you join us visually and obviously on the audio side. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the visiting Oakland Ballers and manager Micah Franklin. Again, Oakland coming in at 14-10. We'll talk all about the standings and races and all that during the game this afternoon. Leading off and playing right field is Austin Davis. Batting second for the Ballers, and at shortstop, Miles Jefferson. Dondre Hubbard, we actually get to see him play the field. He is at third base and bats third. Trevor Halsema hits cleanup, and he is in left field. Batting fifth and at first base is Noah Martinez. Hitting sixth, doing the catching, and that's Colton Horner. Batting in the seventh spot, one of the newcomers to the Oakland Ballers, and that is J.P. Gates. And he bats in the seventh spot. Batting eighth and playing it to third base is Brad Burkell, and hitting ninth and in center field is Peyton Harden. On the mound today for the Oakland Ballers is the right-hander and Aaron Eden. Again for Oakland and manager Micah Franklin, it's Davis, Jefferson, and Hubbard, Halsema, Martinez, and Horner, Gates, Burkell, Harden, and the right-hander Eden on the mound. For the YOLO High Wheelers and manager Billy Horton, YOLO coming in at 11 wins and 10 losses. Braylon Skinner leads it off, and he plays center field. Batting second at shortstop, Braylon Marine. Hitting third, the designated hitter, Bobby Leday. Jose Gonzalez hits cleanup. He's at first base. The third baseman batting fifth is Braden Blackford. Justin Kirby hits sixth, and he's in left field. Batting seventh and playing in right field is Tanner Smith. In the eighth spot and at second base is Kirkland Banks. And batting ninth and rounding out the lineup is the catcher Angel Mendoza. On the mound this afternoon for the YOLO High Wheelers is the right-hander in Cameron Rapetti. So again for YOLO and manager Billy Horton, it's Skinner, Marine, and Leday, Gonzalez, Blackford, and Kirby, Smith, Banks, Mendoza, and the right-hander Rapetti on the mound. The starting lineups here tonight. All right, we're going to send it down to the field now for the playing of the national anthem. And again, the national anthem here this afternoon. So we have, again, day baseball all throughout this series. 4:30 today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then 1:05 on Sunday. And then the team hits the road again to go to Idaho Falls coming up on next Tuesday. The umpires for tonight's game calling balls and strikes is the crew chief, Eric Martinez. Bill Shortridge, he is the umpire at first base, and the umpire around at third is Harrison Silverman. These umpires will be with us for the first 3 games of this set. On the mound for the Yellow High Wheelers, you see him warming up right there, is the right-hander Cameron Rapetti. And for Cameron, this will be his 5th start of the year and 6th appearance overall. Now, those of you who heard the game a few nights ago, Rapetti came in and got the save in the game on Saturday, but it switched to Jersey, and I had no idea who it was out there. So Cameron Rapetti, that was him getting the save the other night, and just get an inning of work in. But Rapetti, obviously a regular starter, and normally starts the first game of every series, and that is the case here tonight. So Rapetti, who features a record of 1-1 and a 3.92 ERA, he is ready to go, and it'll be Austin Davis to lead it off on this Tuesday afternoon as Rapetti is out of the windup in the first pitch of the ball game. Fastball outside, ball 1, and we are underway at 4:37 here this afternoon. Sunny skies here in Davis. Outfield medium demonstrate away, and the pitch on the way to Davis, and that's driven towards center field, and back a few steps to make the catch is Braylon Skinner. So only appropriate that the first batter of the game at this ballpark today is named Davis, and Austin Davis is out to get things going just like that. 1 down. Austin Davis coming in at .352 with 4 homers and 18 runs batted in. So 1 away, and now it's Miles Jefferson who comes up to face Rapetti. Cameron, a 4 and a 2-seam fastball, a cutter, curveball, and a changeup as he pours in a strike on the outside corner to Jefferson. No balls and 1 strike as Rapetti kicks and delivers, and that's taken low for a ball. And the count's at 1-1. Rapetti is 23 years old, 6'4", 230 pounds. Second year in the Pioneer League, was at Billings last year. He played for manager Billy Horton. 1-1 pitch, and that's up and in, ball 2. And the count's at 2 balls and 1 strike. So Billy Horton is manager there. Billy Horton his manager here. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Jefferson. Micah Franklin, he is a third base coach and manager for Oakland. And coaching over at first base is the bench coach, former big leaguer with the Cardinals and Dodgers, Aaron Miles. The windup of the 2-1, and that hits the inside half of the plate, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jefferson. No score, top half of the first inning. Glad he can join us. The 2-2 pitch, and that's tapped foul at the plate. And the count holds at 2-2. I know many of you are watching on Flow Sports, but those of you listening on YouTube Live, I will obviously have to be descriptive in that way as well. So YOLO in the alternate black shirts today, button-down black shirts. The picture of the bicycle in gold on the left side of the shirt. 2-2 outside, ball 3, 3-2. White pants, black cap, orange number on the back, orange number on the front of the shirt, so number on each side of the shirt for YOLO. Count is full in the 3-2 pitch, and Jefferson reaches for this one and bloops one out towards shallow right, but out to make the catch. Backpedaling is the second baseman, Kirkland Banks, and Jefferson is retired. So 2 away, top of the first inning, no score. YOLO and Oakland. And now Dondre Hubbard will dig in. Oakland in the button-down green shirts, Ballers in big gold letters spelled across the front, gray pants with the green caps. YOLO, by the way, the black caps and the yellow cycle on the front of the cap. Now it's Hubbard who takes a strike on the inside corner. 0-1, 340 for Hubbard. Team best, well, I say team best. He and Trevor Halsma share the team leading homers with 6. And Hubbard 26 RBIs. And he takes strike 2. So quickly 0-2 to Hubbard. And Rapetti working quickly. And Hubbard swings and pokes one the other way. And that'll get through into right field, a base hit. Rapetti left that ball up. And Hubbard just waited for it as if he was hitting off a batting tee. and just very simply poked it the other way into right field for a single. As the right fielder Smith up with the ball gets it in towards second. So Hubbard, who had a 4-homer series against Yolo a couple of weeks ago when these two teams got together, has the series first hit. And now it's Halsma who bats with Hubbard at first, no score, and Trevor takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Halsma, a team-high 30 RBIs to go along with a team-best 383 mark. And 6 home runs, as we talked about before, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count's now at no balls and 2 strikes to Halsma. Hubbard at first base, 4 steals, he's not been caught, and Rapetti misses outside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Second appearance against Oakland for Rapetti. His lone win this year came against the Ballers. That was the first game of that series, which was opening night, the first ever home game in the history of the Ballers. Rapetti and the High Wheelers won that contest 9-3. His 1-2 from the set, and that's swatted high and foul right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rapetti in that game at Oakland worked 6 innings. It's the most he's worked in a game this year. Allowed 4 hits, 2 runs both earned, walked 4, struck out 7. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no score. And the pitch from the set, and that's up an in ball, 2-2. Rapetti, in his last outing, got the loss. That was at Northern Colorado a week ago tonight. Fell 6-2 to the Owls. He worked 5 2/3 innings in that one. Struck out 9. That's the most strikeouts by any High Wheeler pitcher this year. 2-2 on the way, up and in ball, 3-2. And Rapetti in that game only allowed 3 runs, only one of which was earned, but still fell 6-2. All right, 3-2 the count with 2 out. Hubbard being held on by Gonzalez. He goes automatically in the pitch to Halsma, line to the left field, a base hit. Hubbard on his way to third. Up with the ball, the left fielder Kirby is thrown to third, and that gets away. A ball stays in play, but seeing that coming in to score is Hubbard standing up. And going to second base is Halsma. And just like that, it's 1-0 in favor of the Ballers. So that'll be a base hit for Halsma. No RBI. Hubbard moves to third on the single. Error on the left fielder in Kirby. It was a bad throw from the left fielder Kirby. So single to left. No RBI. Halsma, he'll go to second on the error. So it's just like that, 1-0 Oakland. Now it's Noah Martinez who pops this one up. Shallow left field, and out goes the shortstop, Marine, to make the catch down the left field side. Boy, good play there. The ball was ruled fair. If he doesn't catch that one, then Halsma scores. Instead, Martinez is out. Martinez coming in 282 with 4 homers and 16 runs batted in. A run for Oakland, 2 hits. There was 1 error, and 1 man left after half an inning this afternoon. Again, this is considered a day game because it starts before 5 o'clock. Oakland 1 and Yolo coming up on Flow Sports and YouTube Live. After half an inning this afternoon, Oakland 1 and YOLO coming up. Doug Greenwald with you here on YouTube Live. And Braylon Skinner to lead it off. It'll be Skinner, Marine, and Leday to face the right-hander in Aaron Eden, who has had time pitching at the college level, both San Jose State and San Diego State. Braylon Skinner starts it off, and he swings at the first pitch and fouls it off left side, strike one. And the count's at no balls and one strike. Eden, 6'3", 230 pounds, 24 years old. The windup and the 0-1, and that's swung on by Skinner and fly to left field. Hauls him far to his right into foul ground, reaches up, and he makes the catch, and Skinner is out. So Skinner fouls out to left field, and that's the first out here in the bottom half of the first inning. And now Braylon Marine will come to the plate. Now Marine, quite a series in northern Colorado, although I think just about every high wheeler seemed to have a good series. There's Marine swings, and he keeps his hot hitting going and drives one toward right center, and that's going to get down for a base hit. To his right to grab the ball, the right fielder in Davis. So Braylon Marine, a base hit to right. Mentioned the high wheelers in that series had 80 hits. That's right, 80 hits over 6 games. Every game in that series, all 6 games in that series, for YOLO, the team had double digits in hits. And Marine, coming into tonight, 358, 2 homers, 19 RBIs. And now the pitch on the way to Bobby Leday, and that's taken for a strike on the inside corner. No balls and one strike. Leday bats at .395. That's a team best. He has 6 homers, and he has 24 RBIs. As the pitch on the way with the runner from first, Marine going, poked the other way, right field base hit. Rounding second on his way to third is Marine. He'll stop there, and Leday has a single. And now the high wheelers something cooking here. First and third, 1 out. 1-0 Oakland, bottom of the first. And now it's Jose Gonzalez who digs in. Yeah, Leday in that series at Northern Colorado, he was 15 for 29 in that series. That's a .517 clip. He had 2 homers and 7 RBIs in that set. Now Gonzalez bats, and Jose takes high ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. .370 for Gonzalez. He has 6 home runs, and he has 20 runs batted in. 1-0 Oakland here in the bottom of the first inning. There goes Leday, pitch taken outside through to second base, and the ball goes into center field. Stealing second is Leday. Marine will scamper in from third easily. Eventually the center fielder hardened up with the ball. Burkell, the second baseman, came over to take the throw, but could not get to the ball. Stolen base for Leday. Error on the catcher, Horner. So stolen base, E2. Marine scores. And just like that, it's even at 1. Leday moved to third on the error. And now the 2-0 to Gonzalez, and that's driven toward left center field. Hauls him a long run, reaches out, can't get it. The ball goes off his glove. Now the ball 1 hop to the wall. In from third easily is Leday. And Gonzalez will cruise in the second with a stand-up RBI double. And in the span of just 4 batters, YOLO has gained now a 2-1 lead. 21st RBI for Jose Gonzalez. 3 straight hits for the high wheelers now. A 2-1 YOLO advantage. And now it's the third baseman in Braden Blackford who digs in. Well, Blackford, 255, 4 homers, 12 RBIs. And the pitch to Braden, a big swing and a miss at a breaking ball, strike 1. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike from Eden, who faced the high wheelers in Oakland and beat the high wheelers in Oakland back on June 5th. Runner at second base, Gonzalez, and the pitch, and that's swung on and driven down the left field line, and that'll go foul. And the count's at no balls and 2 strikes. And that was, as I said, a 4-1 Oakland win. Eden worked 5 1/3 innings in that ball game. He allowed 1 home run. Well, the man who took him for a home run in that game is facing him right now in Braden Blackford. In fact, the home run by Blackford against Eden was Blackford's first pro home run. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2-1, YOLO. And the pitch from Eden up the way to Blackford, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As I mentioned, Eden a winner, though, in that game. And then Eden, in his last start, ended up, actually it wasn't really a start, it was more of a long relief appearance as Blackford reaches for this one, flies one to shallow left, hauls him jogging to his right toward the line, and the left fielder will be there to make the catch. And Blackford is out. 2 down. Bottom of the first inning, it's YOLO 2 and Oakland 1. And now Justin Kirby comes up. Yeah, Eden was, last outing was more of a long relief appearance, sort of the automatic piggyback, as they call it in baseball, where you already have a designated second pitcher. Kelsey Whitmore, she started the last game Eden pitched, and then Eden came in from there, and even though he got a no decision, it was a loss for the team. He struck out 9 over 5 innings against Rocky Mountain and only allowed 1 hit and 1 run, which was unearned, and walked 3. So Eden's had a couple of his last 2 outings have been pretty good. Count to Kirby is a no balls and 1 strike. 2-1 in favor of YOLO. And the pitch on the way, very high for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Kirby, bats at .311. He has 2 homers and he has 8 runs batted in. Both of his homers, which were his first 2 pro homers, came in that series at Northern Colorado. The 1-1 here, and he swings and he pops it up. Third base side, Hubbard to have a look, and the ball lands foul. And the count's now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Kirby, now Kirby has kind of an interesting streak going. It's not so much a hitting streak or a RBI streak, but Kirby, in all 6 games in that series in Northern Colorado, scored a run. A 1-2 pitch, and he fouls into the backstop. 5 of the games he started. So there's, of course, a decent chance you're, with all the offense that the High Wheelers had in that series, that you're going to score a run. And the game he didn't start, he pinch ran and still scored. So he scored a total of 7 runs over those 6 games, and as I said, at least 1 run scored in all of those games. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Kirby. 2-1 YOLO, first inning. Bottom half, the 1-2, just outside, ball 2 from Eden. And the count's at 2 balls and 2 strikes, with Tanner Smith waiting on deck. So 2-2 the count. Outfield straight up for Kirby, wearing his white pants up to his knees. And the pitch, and he swings a defensive 2-strike swing just to keep the at-bat alive. Fouls into the backstop. And the count holding at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 the count. Kirby was 1 for 1 with a walk against Eden back on June 5th at Raimondi Park. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-1 YOLO. Bottom of the first, and the pitch to Kirby up and in, ball 3 from Eden. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So 3-2 the count. By the way, first pitch temperature was 88 degrees. So nice and toasty here in Davis. Just getting hotter throughout the summer here. So 3-2 the count. Ken Gonzalez again dancing off second. And the payoff, and Kirby rolls this one deep in the hole at short. 2 is right. Jefferson long throw across will not be in time. Gonzalez Martinez a good job to come off the bag to keep that as just an infield single right there. Because Jefferson, good effort getting to the ball. Now, I think both players did a good job getting to the ball. Jefferson obviously had to go far to his right to keep that ball in the infield. Gonzalez running on contact with 2 out. Probably scores if that ball gets past the shortstop, Jefferson. Then Jefferson tried to get the batter runner, Kirby, and the first baseman, Martinez, figured, you know what, Kirby's likely going to be safe anyway. Give him what he earns, but I'm going to need to get off the bag, go to my right, and at least save the baseball from getting past me. So Gonzalez goes to third. Kirby, an infield single. And now it's Tanner Smith. Now, we're talking about Kirby has that 6-game streak with at least a run scored. Tanner Smith, he's got a 9-game hitting streak. And the first pitch to Tanner, and that's a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Smith bats at 246. He has I beg your pardon, he's got 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. He's still batting 246, but he has 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and he takes inside for a ball. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike to Smith. So during the 9-game hitting streak for Tanner, he has 11 hits in that span. He's 11 for 34 over his hitting streak, the 1-1 high ball 2. 2 balls and a strike with a 2-1 YOLO lead. Bottom half of the first inning. This is Doug Greenwald. You're listening and watching the YouTube High Wheelers, listening on YouTube Live, watching on Flow Sports. 2-1 the count with Banks on deck. Outfield straightaway, not terribly deep, and Eden's pitch, and that swung on and line foul up along first strike. 2-2. So Smith 1 for 3 on Sunday at Northern Colorado, walked twice and scored a run. 9-game hitting streak, as I said, so 324 during that time, during the streak for Tanner Smith, who homered twice in that series in Oakland. Then again, just about every high wheeler homered in that series. And of course, I think just about every baller did as well. The runners lead at first and third. 2-1 in favor of YOLO, bottom of the first. And the pitch, and Smith swings, and he drives this one toward left center field, and Halsema comes on, and he makes a diving catch, and that saves at least 1 run there. Great play by the left fielder, Trevor Halsema. That ball was sinking and sinking and sinking, as I guess most do, and Halsema, a long way to go to his left, made a diving play and a diving catch. Nice play there, and that limits the damage to just 2 runs here in the first for YOLO. But the High Wheelers take the lead. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 men stranded. We go to the second. It's YOLO 2 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. After an inning, it is 2-1. YOLO out in front over the Oakland Ballers. And Colton Horner, the catcher, to lead it off, facing Cameron Rapetti, who kicks and delivers. And Horner swings, and he flies this one toward right. Tanner Smith drifting back, and room in front of the track. He'll be there to make the catch, and just what Rapetti wants. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the second inning. It is 2-1 in favor of the YOLO High Wheelers. Now we will see the first professional plate appearance for the designated hitter in J.P. Gates, who digs in, just signed today by Oakland. And Rapetti delivers, and Gates takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Gates joins Oakland from the University of Tampa, was on the NCAA Division II championship Spartan team as he fouls one off right side. No balls and 2 strikes to count to J.P. Gates. Is a two-way player. He's a first baseman and also a pitcher. And he takes, and that is low for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Gates has quite a resume, as one would expect from a team that wins a national title, regardless of whatever level. The 1-2, and Gates swings, and a tapper foul back of the plate. And the count holds at 1-2 NCAA National Championship Series MVP. That's pretty good. As Gates takes high, ball 2. 2-2. First team All-American, the D2 level. NCAA National Championship Series All-Tournament team. As the 2-2 pitch, and that swung on and fly to left field. Kirby to his right, and the ball lands foul. So 2-2 the count to J.P. Gates. 53 games with the Spartans this year at the University of Tampa, and he hit .423 with 9 homers and 53 runs batted in. 2-1 YOLO here in the second inning. The windup and the 2-2, and Gates banks this one high and foul left side. And we'll try it again at 2-2. But University of Tampa back on June 8th beat Angelo State of Texas 8-3 to win the Division II World Series. The kick in the 2-2, outside ball 3. And it's now 3-2. And Gates in that game, in the championship game, had a home run. The windup by Rapetti in the 3-2, and Gates swings and misses strike 3. Fastball in the outer half, and Gates chased what likely would have been ball 4, but tried to protect, and he is out. So that is the first out, or the first strikeout for Rapetti. It's a second out here in the top of the second inning. And now Brad Burkell will come up with a 2-1 YOLO lead. Top half of the second. So Burkell bats at .329, 5 homers, 21 RBIs. The windup by Rapetti in the pitch, high fastball, a foul at the plate, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to Burkell, who had a 2-homer game against the High Wheelers while we were in Oakland. The 0-1 pitch, and that's high for a ball. And the count's now 1-1 strike. That was the Sunday game back on June 9th in an Oakland 11-3 win. Burkell, a couple of solo clouts in that one, scored 3 times. The 1-1, swing and a miss at a fastball, strike 2. And the count's at 1-2 from Cameron Rapetti, who comes right back, and Burkell swings, and he pops this one up foul left side. And the count remains at 1-2 to Burkell, who played at both the University of Houston and McNeese State University. Rapetti went to Cal State Fullerton, delivers, and a curve, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Burkell is out, and that's a second strikeout for Rapetti. And Oakland goes in order in the second, so no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Inning and a half done. It is YOLO 2 and Oakland 1 on Flow Sports and YouTube Live. YOLO 2, Oakland 1 as we move on to the bottom half of the second inning. Again, 4:30 first pitch, so you can join us on YouTube Live roughly at about 4:25 p.m. And then Flow Sports will get things going right around 4:30. Kirkland Banks leads it off in the first pitch from Aaron Eden, and Banks takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count's at 0-1 strike to Banks. Then it's Mendoza, and after that, the top of the order, the center fielder Skinner. The windup in the 0-1, and that swung on and line to third, and that's caught by Hubbard. Low line drive caught by Dondre Hubbard, and Kirkland Banks is out. One away. Banks coming in at 309. He has 3 homers and 11 RBIs. Yolo has 7 players whose averages are 300 or better, but still really nowhere near the the top of the league in hitting when you have all those players who play at high altitude up in Montana and Colorado, many of whom are hitting over 400. Now it's Angel Mendoza, and he takes outside from Aaron Eden, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Mendoza, 231, a homer, 8 RBIs. 2-1 Yolo, bottom of the second. Full windup by Eden and the pitch, and that's in the dirt for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes from Aaron Eden. Mentioned went to both San Jose State and San Diego State. His last college was San Jose State. 2 balls, no strikes. Eden from the full windup, middle of the rubber delivers. Mendoza looks down the middle, strike 1, 2-1. Here at Dobbins Stadium, where it's 310 down the lines. 385 to the gaps. 410 to straightaway center. The 2-1 pitch. Slap toward first. Off of Martinez. The ball caroms to the second baseman, Brukel, but there'll be no play. And safe at first is Mendoza. And that'll be ruled an error. I think that was a gettable ball for Martinez. I don't think the ball was hit terribly hard, and it wasn't like Martinez had a long way to go for it. So that'll be an error charge to the first baseman and Noah Martinez. Second error charge to the Ballers this afternoon. And now a balk is going to be called on Eden. Not sure what he did, but it'll be a balk. So Mendoza, just like that, finds himself at second base. And, of course, we're still awaiting the first pitch to Skinner. Top of the yellow order up for the second time for the center fielder, Braylon Skinner, who fouled to left his first time. And the pitch on the way to Braylon is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Skinner. So Mendoza's at second base. And a 2-1 lead for the High Wheelers in the bottom half of the second inning with Braylon Marine on deck. Outfield medium depth straightaway. And the 1-0 pitch, and that is outside, ball 2. And the count's now at 2 balls and no strikes from Eden. He was originally from the L.A. area. He's from Norco. Well, I guess that's Greater L.A. I guess much of Southern California is Greater L.A. The 2-0 pitch, low outside, ball 3. And the count's now at 3 balls and no strikes to Braylon Skinner. Now, Skinner in that last series against Northern Colorado hit safely in the last 2 games, 4 hits over that span. But Braylon has 10 hits, or has hit safely in 10 of his last 12 games. 3-0 here, and that's a strike called on the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. So, yeah, 10 of his last 12 games for Braylon Skinner, he has at least a hit. 19 hits for Skinner over his last 12 games. So over the last dozen games for him, he's hitting .404. Outfield medium depth straightaway. 3 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 Yolo. Bottom second. Day on the pitch of Skinner. Way up and away, ball 4. So he draws a walk, and that's the first walk issued by Skinner. First walk issued by Eden. Skinner to first. And now the Oakland pitching coach, Jim Diedrich, will come to the mound to settle down Eden. They're talking about Oakland, and the Ballers just finished a series against Rocky Mountain. That was a home series against Rocky Mountain. Those teams split 3-3. Yesterday was Rocky Mountain. Yesterday was Oakland winning 16-3. So they had some lower scoring games in that series than these two teams had when we were at Oakland a little over a week ago. I mean, the games in Oakland, we had a 8-8 game where the knockout round went in favor of Oakland. There was a 12-8 contest, an 11-6 game, an 11-3 game. That series, they only really had a couple of what would be high-scoring games, at least for one team. Again, one of which was yesterday, that 16-3 Oakland win. So now it's Marine And he swings and chops one back a second to his right. The second baseman Miguel flips to Jefferson, second for one to the shortstop's throw to Martinez at first, double play. Nice play there, 4-6-3 double play. Burkell, the second baseman, had to go to his right, glove the ball, and able to start the twin killing. So second short first, Burkell, Jefferson, Martinez, 4-6-3, no runs, no hits, one error, one left. On we go to the third, 2-1. YOLO leads Oakland on YouTube Live. There's just too many people on the wireless. Top of the third inning, Oakland trails by one. They get their second. Ask them tomorrow if they can hardwire you. Okay, all right. Sorry about that. I don't know what I can do. On we go to the third inning. The visitors' half of the third. I guess normally when we go on to an inning, it is the visitors' half of an inning. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for YOLO. A run, 2 hits, 2 errors for Oakland. Peyton Harden to lead it off. And Cameron Repetti's first pitch, and that's down the middle strike. It's down the middle, but called a ball. I was so used to saying down the middle, called a strike. Down the middle for a ball. 1-0 the count. Repetti right back, and Harden swings, and he bloops this one towards shallow left center, base hit. So Peyton Harden has a single to get things going here in the third. Harden coming into this afternoon's action at 3:15 with no homers and 11 RBIs. So give Harden a single. And now for the second time this afternoon, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the right fielder, Austin Davis. He flied to center in the first inning, and Repetti's pitch, and that's driven high and foul, right side, strike one. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. 2-1, YOLO. Top half of the third. High Wheelers have won 3 in a row. That's their longest winning streak of the season. No balls, 1 strike. And Repetti from the belt. Kicks and delivers, and I think Davis requested time, so there's no pitch there. So we'll try to get it 0-1 to Davis. Again, coming in at 352 with 4 homers and 18 runs batted in. Harden, the runner at first base, 5 steals, he's been caught once. He's the tying run, being held on by Gonzalez, and the pitch taken for a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Austin Davis. 3 hits yesterday for Davis, the 0-2, and that's inside for a ball. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Davis, who was in the Frontier League last year, playing for Ottawa. One ball and 2 strikes to count. The Ottawa Titans, capital of Canada. 1-2 the count to Davis. Again, Harden at first base. A little bigger lead this time. And the pitch, and Davis swings and misses strike 3. Chase that one out of the zone. And he is out. So that's the third strikeout for Repetti. And now it's Miles Jefferson who comes up with a 2-1 YOLO lead here in the third inning. I mentioned Oakland in for 6 games, and much like YOLO a couple of weeks ago when YOLO went to Oakland, when they would commute, in other words, they wouldn't stay overnight, Oakland will go back and forth between there and here. And we'll see Oakland, of course, throughout the summer. Again, this is the 7th of 36 meetings between these two teams this season. Again, Harden at first, another turn throw over, and back safely with a dive is Harden with Gonzalez there to take the throw. That's the first disengagement for Rapetti in this at bat. Outfield medium depth straight away in the pitch, and that runs inside to Jefferson. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Jefferson 0 for 3 yesterday, but scored 3 runs in that 16-run attack. The 2-1 pitch hit toward third, snagged by Blackford, goes to Banks at second for 1, on to Gonzalez at first, and the throw pulls Gonzalez off the bag toward the right field side of first base. Good play by Blackford. That's one of those all-or-nothing plays because he did the old Olay. I mean, he very easily could have missed that ball, and that very easily could have gone in the left field. And who knows where that inning goes. Instead, it's a force, which goes 5-4 at second base. The third baseman Blackford to the second baseman Banks. A 2 out. And now it's Dondre Hubbard who digs in. He singled and scored in the first inning. A 2-1 YOLO advantage. We're in the top half of the third. So now it's Jefferson who is the runner at first base. 10 steals for Jefferson. He's been caught 3 times. And Rapetti delivers, and Hubbard takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. So it'll be interesting to see now that we're back, A, at sea level versus being in northern Colorado, and B, not being in such a cozy bandbox-like ballpark of Raimondi Park, how some of those fly balls will translate here where there's not much carry, the 0-1, and that's a strike on the inside corner, 0-2. So, for example, that last road trip, the High-Wheelers had 29 home runs, whereas when they were here through the first homestand, there were only a couple of home runs for the High-Wheelers, and not very many for the opponents. The 0-2 was outside ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. I mean, you go back to that first homestand. Now, I realize 3 games were not played because of light issues, so the 7 games that were played, there weren't really many home runs. You know, Bobby Leday had a couple of home runs. I believe that was it. I think he was the only YOLO High-Wheeler to homer, and a few homers for the opposition, but not many. The 1-2, and Hubbard swings and misses strike 3, high fastball, and he is out. So Rapetti, 4 strikeouts through 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third, YOLO 2, Oakland 1 on YouTube Live. On we go to the bottom half of inning number 3 and a 2-1 UC Davis lead. And the first pitch to Bobby Leday, and he swings and he flies one high and deep towards center field. A long run for Harden. He can't get it, and the ball will land 1 hop over the fence for a ground rule double. So Bobby Leday just keeps right on hitting. Well, Leday, a single, a steal, and a run scored in the first. And now 2 for 2 here this afternoon. We'll talk more about Leday in a moment and his exploits of late. So good start for the High Wheelers. Now 5 hits and a 2-1 lead in the bottom half of the third inning. And now it's Jose Gonzalez who pops on a foul left side, strike one. And the count is at no balls and 1 strike to Gonzalez, an RBI double in the first inning. 0-1 the count. Leday takes off for third. Pitch way outside, throw to third, and Leday is safe. Throw from the catcher Horner to the third baseman Hubbard. So even though the pitch was outside, which I think gave Horner a better angle, the throw was not great. It was in the dirt. So Leday, that's his second steal this afternoon. And the count's at 1-1. So runner at third and nobody out. The infield will concede a run here. They'll play back as Gonzalez swings, and he pops this one up. Probably not deep enough. The shortstop Jefferson backpedaling in the shallow left, and he makes the catch. And Leday frozen at third. So 1 down. And now it's Braden Blackford who will bat. Leday now with 12 steals this year and 13 tries. Now it's Blackford who bats, and now Oakland will bring its infield in. So infield in for Blackford. Can fly to left. He's 0 for 1. Lead at third and foul ground by Leday, and the pitch to Blackford, fisted in the air, foul left side, 0-1. The thing about Leday and his, again, tremendous exploits of late, and I touched on it before, but worth noting, he now has an 8-game hitting streak, and he has 18 hits in 33 at-bats during that streak. Well, again, that includes today's game. The 0-1 on the way, and Blackford takes high for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike, so he's 18 for 33. He's hitting at a .545 clip over his now last 8 games. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2-1 in favor of the High Wheelers, and the pitch to Blackford, and that's up and away, ball 2 from Aaron Eden. And the count's now at 2 balls and 1 strike with Justin Kirby on deck on this sun-filled yet a little hazy afternoon, but warm here in the Central Valley. The 2-1 pitch, and that's high ball 3, 3-1. Well, it's not really called the Central Valley. This is a little higher up than that. Oakland is going to challenge that last pitch. It was called a ball by the plate umpire and crew chief Eric Martinez. And indeed, the pitch is confirmed, and it stays a ball. So the count is now at 3 balls and 1 strike with a 2-1 YOLO lead. Bottom half of the third inning. So 3 balls, 1 strike to count with 1 out. In the infield and outfield medium depth straight away. Leday leads at third, and the 3-1. And that's up and away, ball 4, so Blackford draws a walk. And that's a second base on balls allowed by Eden. And now it's first and third, and now here is Justin Kirby. Infield single back in the first inning. So 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the High Wheelers. A run, 4 hits, and 2 errors for the Ballers. Now the middle infield moves back a little bit with the hopes of a double play ball. So Leday at third, Blackford at first. We'll see if Blackford goes to try and avoid a double play. As Eden from the third base side of the rubber. There goes Blackford. Pitch taken inside and no throw at all. Neither the shortstop Jefferson nor the second baseman Brukel were covering. And the catcher Horner just did a pump fake. So give Blackford a steal of second base. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Blackford, that's his first steal of the year. Now the 1-0 pitch with the infield back in again, and that's up and in, ball 2 from Eden. And it's now 2 balls and no strikes to Kirby with Tanner Smith on deck. So Leday is at third, Blackford's at second. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-1 YOLO. Bottom 3, and the pitch to Kirby, very high, ball 3. And the count's at 3 balls and no strikes to Kirby wearing his white pants all the way up to his knees, showing the thin black socks. 3 balls, no strikes, the count. So big moment here. Obviously, if Eden can somehow get out of this, still real early in the game, it'll be only a 1-run. It would stay a 1-run lead for the High Wheelers. A 3-0 pitch, and that hits the inner half of the plate, strike 1. And counts at 3-1. But a base hit to the outfield right now likely would make it a 4-1 game. So Kirby has looked at 4 pitches in this plate appearance from Eden. 3 balls, 1 strike. And Eden kicks and comes back, and Kirby takes up and in, ball 4. Back-to-back 1-out walks issued by Eden. And that loads him up now for Tanner Smith. By the way, the third base coach and manager for Yolo is Billy Horton. And coaching over at first base is the bench coach, Gary Davenport. I don't know if I have to ask, again, I was not in Northern Colorado, but I'll have to ask Gary if he coached first over in NoCo. Now it's Tanner Smith. Now the middle infield moves back a few steps with a double play possibility. Available really any base is the pitch to Smith, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count's at 0-1. So Smith robbed of a hit his first time, the 0-1, and Tanner swings, lines one foul down the left field side, and that's strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. A big moment here for Smith. Robbed of at least 1 RBI in that first inning on a great play by the left fielder Halsema, who dived to make a catch. 0-2 the count. Runners at every base. And the pitch, and Smith swings, chops one to second. Burkell up with it, goes to Jefferson at second for 1, and the shortstop's throw to first, not in time. Smith by an eyelash beats it out, and a run is in. Martinez at first there to take the throw, but by an eyelash or a piece of dental floss, whichever way you want to call it, Tanner Smith beats it out. No argument at all from anyone with the Oakland club. So it is now 3-1 in favor of Yolo. So Leday scores. Blackford moves to third. Kirby is forced at second, 4-6. Give Tanner Smith a run batted in. So Smith, RBI number 8. And now it's Kirkland Banks. And he swings and chops this ball to third. Nice backhand grab by Hubbard, and his throw pulled Martinez off the bag, but he tags out. Banks going by. So nice play by Hubbard. All or nothing backhand pick around his cleats. And then Martinez, a good job to come off the bag to take that throw and tag Banks out going by. And that concludes the third inning. But the High Wheelers extend the lead by a run. 1 run, 1 hit. There were no errors. And 2 runners left. We go to the fourth, 3-1 now. Yolo out in front over Oakland on YouTube Live. On we go to the fourth inning, 3-1 Yolo. Trevor Halsema leads it off, and the first pitch on the way from Cameron Rapetti is a fastball taken for a strike On the outside corner, 0-1. Halsema, Martinez, and Horner. 4, 5, 6, and the 0-1 is outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trevor Halsema single to left field in the first. 3-1 YOLO, and the 1-1 on the way, and that's low from Repetti, ball 2, 2-1. Doug Greenwald with you. We're on Flow Sports and on YouTube Live tonight, so glad you can join us. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. As Repetti working quickly out of the windup, and the pitch swung on, slapped towards short. To his right, Marine up with the baseball, throws across to Gonzalez at first, and Halsema is out. 1 up and 1 down. Top half of the 4th inning. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for YOLO. A run, 3 hits, and an error for Oakland. And now it's Noah Martinez who will dig in. He popped a shortstop in the 1st inning. And Repetti got a save in his last outing. That was in Northern Colorado last Saturday as he pours in a strike on the outside corner. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike as he deals, and a breaking ball, swing and a miss, 0-2. Repetti told me that when he pitched for Cal State Fullerton, he earned a save pitching at this ballpark against the UC Davis Aggies. But the other night when Repetti came in, it was just really just to get an inning of work in. Bullpen had been used a lot in that series, the 0-2, and that swung on and driven down the right field side. That's going to get down for a hit. To his left, Smith up with the ball, and Noah Martinez will take the turnaround first, and he stops there, standing up as Smith gets the ball in toward the first base side of the diamond. So Noah Martinez has a single to right. 3-1 YOLO, top of the 4th inning. And now the catcher, Colton Horner, comes up. But Repetti, that game on Saturday night, that was an 8-7 YOLO. I'm sorry, that was a 10-8 YOLO win. Repetti worked 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, which was not earned. So now the first pitch on the way to Horner is a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count to the Turlock area product, and Horner, who fly to right field in the 2nd inning. Noah Martinez, he is the runner at first base. Not a whole lot of speed. Martinez 1 steal this year. He has not been caught as Gonzalez holds him on. Outfield medium depth and straight away. So no balls and 1 strike to count. And Repetti delivers from the set, and that's swung on, and that's driven toward left center. That's going to get down for a hit. Martinez stops at second as the right fielder Smith this time has to go to his right. Up with the ball, gets it in toward the shortstop Marine, and Horner has a single. So now it's first and second, and the designated hitter, J.P. Gates, comes up. Another chance for Gates in his first pro game. Gates struck out swinging in his first pro at bat. And he represents the possible go-ahead run. Each team with 5 hits, but a 3-1 YOLO advantage. 4th inning, top half. As Repetti delivers from the set, and the pitch to Gates, a late swing and a miss, strike 1. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. So 0-1 the count to Gates. A runner at second is Martinez. Horner at first, and Gates takes, and that is inside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. So 1-1 to count. To J.P. Gates. Look back at second base by Repetti, and the pitch, and Gates is swinging a miss at a breaking ball, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Gates. We're talking about his exploits at the University of Tampa. The Spartans this year en route to the NCAA Division II title. They were 52-8 this year. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch, and Gates swings, and he flies this one to center field. Braylon Skinner hits this one toward short. Marine backpedals to make the catch with the infield fly rule called. He hit that ball, and I was taking a direct look at the center fielder Skinner, who came in, but the ball was hit to the shortstop Marine. I should, after almost 30 years of doing this, know the difference between second base or shortstop and center field. Okay, 2 out as Gates pops to short, and now it's Brad Burkell who's 0 for 1. YOLO 3, And Oakland 1, top of the fourth. And the pitch to Burkell. And that's low outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes to Burkell with Peyton Harden on deck. Ribetti, short black sleeves, kicks in the 1-0. And Burkell takes a strike on the outer half. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gave you the dimensions here. Again, 310 down the lines. 385 the gaps and 410 to straightaway center. It's a 10-foot wall all the way around. Scoreboard here is out in right center field. The kick on the 1-1. And apparently a balk has been called on Ribetti. I don't know if he didn't come set properly, but that could turn out to be big because now Martinez goes to third. Horner goes to second. And now a base hit to the outfield could tie it. And the 1-1 pitch, and Burkell swings and pops it up foul left side. And the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes, so... And the count is at 1-2. And the pitch, swing and a miss, high fastball up and away, strike 3. And Burkell is out, and that's the 5th strikeout for Ribetti. Second time he has struck out Burkell swinging. So the balk doesn't hurt. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the bottom half of the fourth. It remains YOLO 3 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live. On we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning, and a 3-1 lead for the Yellow High Wheelers. Again, tomorrow we're back at 4:30, first pitch, right here on YouTube Live and also on Flow Sports. Angel Mendoza leads it off, facing Aaron Needon, who's out of the full windup, and the right-hander deals, and Mendoza swings and misses at an off-speed pitch, strike 1. No balls and a strike. It's Mendoza, and then the top of the order for the center fielder Skinner, and then Marine, 9-1-2. 3-1 Yellow, bottom of the fourth. Eden's pitch, and Mendoza takes outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. So 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Yolo. A run, 5 hits, 2 errors for Oakland. The windup in the 1-1, and that swung on and chopped foul up along third, strike 2 by Mendoza. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the High Wheelers today made some player moves. Need to talk about those in a moment. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Full windup by Eden, and the pitch, and Mendoza swings and taps this ball toward third. Charge and glove by Hubbard. He'll throw from the grass over to Martinez at first. And Mendoza is out. 1 up and 1 down. Home half of the fourth inning, and a 3-1 Yolo lead over Oakland. And now for the third time this afternoon. Yolo will go to the top of its order for the center fielder, Braylon Skinner, who was 0 for 1 with a walk. The High Wheelers released first baseman D.H. Sam Kaczynski and then released right-handed reliever Cal Mechanic. So now it's Skinner, who shows bunt and takes low ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Yolo 3, Oakland 1, bottom of the 4th. So those players no longer here. Mechanic did not pitch at all in the Northern Colorado series. Swinging a ground ball past the diving first baseman Martinez to his right, and the ball goes into right field for a base hit for Braylon Skinner. So he is now 1 for 2 this afternoon, and now Braylon Marine comes up. So Skinner now 11 of his last 13 games has at least a hit, and he's got now 20 hits in that time. And now it's Braylon Marine who bats. He is 1 for 2, a single, and a run scored. 3-1 Yolo, bottom of the 4th inning. And the pitch to Marine, and that's low ball 1-0. Yeah, Sam Kaczynski was hitting .286 with 2 homers and 10 RBIs, but he had been in the throes of a slump recently. He was like 4 for his last 24. I'm not saying that was the reason he got let go, but I'm just saying that he was let go. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch from the set, and that swung on Marine, who's not been in a slump. Drives one toward right center. That ball's going to get down. It's going to roll all the way to the lip of the warning track. Rounding third is Skinner. He will score, and Braylon Marine has a stand-up RBI double, and it's now 4-1 Yolo in the bottom of the 4th. Eventually, it was the center fielder Harden who got to the ball. So Braylon Marine give him an RBI double. So 4-1 now in favor of the High Wheelers. Marine, that's his 20th run batted in. The Marine, who had 6 RBIs on Sunday, 2 more hits and 1 more RBI tonight, or today for that matter. 7 hits for Yolo, a 4-1 Yolo advantage. And now it's Bobby Leday who comes up. So anyway, Kaczynski let go. I mentioned that Cal Mechanic, he was released. Mechanic really didn't pitch much. 4 games, 3 2/3 innings, allowed 11 hits, and his ERA was 17.18. And so he was let go, and then to replace them on the roster. And I don't know if the exact wordage, I'm going to have to get with manager Billy Horton. I don't know if the exact wordage was a signing or a trade or a waiver claim, but active and on the Yolo roster as of right now is infielder Alejandro Figueiredo, who played for Billy Horton last year with Billings, and Figueiredo this year joining the team from Billings. So he'd been with Billings the last year and change. Now it's Leday, and he swings in a tapper, third base side of the mound, knocked down by the pitcher Eden, and he'll have no play anywhere, and that'll be an infield single. I mean, Eden got to the ball, but that's, again, not an easy play for a pitcher. You can't really give that an error. So Marine goes to third. Leday is now 3 for 3 today. And now it's Jose Gonzalez who bats. I mean, Eden was able to get a glove on the ball, but I don't think that's not a regular effort, so to speak. That's not an ordinary effort. So it's an infield single. And now it's Gonzalez with runners at the corners. Anyway, Alejandro Figueiredo, who's originally from Venezuela but went to college and played 3 years at Florida Gulf Coast University in Fort Myers, and then again was played professional baseball last year with Billings. He joins Yolo, first baseman, DH player. 329, 3 homers, 23 RBIs in 21 games this year for Billings. And then the replace Mechanic in the bullpen. Yolo signed right-handed pitcher Turner Thompson, who, when he eventually gets in a game, it'll be his first professional outing. Thompson played 2 years at both Tulane and then 2 years at Samford. That's SAM, Samford University in Birmingham. So Turner Thompson, a right-handed reliever, also new to the club. So Mechanic and Kaczynski let go, and then the infielder Figueiredo signed, and then the pitcher Thompson signed as well. We have a pitching change. We will step out. The new pitcher is Jacob Reardon for the Oakland Ballers with the score. Bottom of the fourth inning, Yolo 4 and Oakland 1. 2 on, 1 out. Back in a moment on YouTube Live. No record. We are in the bottom half of the fourth inning. It is Yolo 4 and Oakland 1, and we are going to see the professional debut right now of Jacob Reardon. Capital R-I-O-R-D-A-N. Jacob Reardon out of San Diego State. Guy who I understand can strike out a lot of batters, and other times not so much in the zone. That's the scouting report we have on Jacob Reardon, who was just signed by Oakland. So this is his professional debut, so I'm sure he'll have some nerves here. 6'4", 220 pounds, and Reardon, who is 24 years old, born on Halloween, back on 1999. It's kind of scary when, no pun intended, that, I can remember the costume I wore on Halloween in 1999, let alone the day that he was actually born, or the year and day he was actually born. And that's a pretty easy birthday. If you're born on Halloween, you just automatically know you're going to get a lot of candy. I mean, that's like a built-in birthday for you. My dad always gave us a choice when I was a kid for Halloween. We either could go trick-or-treating or we'd go to McDonald's. It was one of the two. So Marines at third, Lede's at first, and now Gonzalez to face Reardon with a 4-1 Yolo lead, bottom of the fourth. There goes Lede, pitch taken outside, throw to second, and Lede is safe with a slide. Throw was taken by the shortstop Jefferson from the catcher Horner. So Lede, that is his third steal this afternoon. He's got a team high now 13 this year. The count is at 1 ball and no strikes, so that takes away any chance of a forced double play. Gonzalez is 1 for 2 with an RBI double, and Jose swings and fouls into the plate, strike one. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike from Reardon. Again, Jacob Reardon. So, as I said, this is his pro debut for the former Aztec. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch, and that's high ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. So the right side of the infield is in. Left side of the infield is back. Reardon, despite being from San Diego State, grew up in Atlanta. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. And the pitch, and Gonzalez goes down for that breaking ball in the dirt and misses strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reardon out of Walton High School in Marietta, Georgia. So I mentioned he's from Atlanta, Marietta, and Atlanta. It's like saying, Davis in Sacramento or Davis in Woodland. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count with 1 out. Again, the infield really more halfway in now. Runners at second and third in the 2-2, and Gonzalez takes up and away from Reardon, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike from Reardon, who bounced around the college ranks a little bit. I mean, his last school was San Diego State, so this was his graduate year. Tell you more about him in a moment. Meanwhile, Marines at third and Lede's at second. 3 balls, 2 strikes in the payoff. Gonzalez pops it up foul left side, 3-2. Reardon began his college career in his home area of Atlanta at Georgia State University, and then played 1 season at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and then went on to San Diego State. Now the 3-2, and that's low outside, ball 4, so Gonzalez draws a walk, and that'll load him up, and a chance really now to blow it open. And I know it's only the bottom of the fourth inning, but to really break it open, and maybe blow it open is a little too harsh, but to really break it open with a 4-1 Yolo advantage. Bottom of the fourth, and now it's Braden Blackford who bats. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. The Marines at third, Lede's at second. Gonzalez at first, and Reardon's pitch, and Blackford takes low ball 1-0. Now the middle infield pinched back a little bit because now a double play ball does get you out of the inning. Highwheelers have scored once in this fourth inning. On the Marine double, 1 ball, no strikes. Outfield deep straight away, and Blackford takes up and away from Reardon, ball 2. And the count's now with 2 balls and no strikes. So a couple of ballers making their pro debuts in this game. You have Reardon right now on the mound, and the designated hitter, and J.P. Gates, the 2-0, and that hits the outer half of the plate, strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. The Marines at third, Lede's at second, Gonzalez at first, and the 2-1. And that is just inside and low, ball 3. Well, now, with a 3-1 count, Blackford really ought to be ready to tee off right here. So 3 balls, 1 strike the count with 1 out. YOLO 4, Oakland 1. Bottom 4, and the 3-1. Sidestep offering, Blackford swings, and he flies this one, shallow center. Harden comes in and over, and he makes a tumbling catch. Tagging from third is Marine. He will score. Moving second to third is Lede on the sac fly. 5-1 now. YOLO out in front. Gonzalez holds at first, so give Blackford a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. Diving catch there. Great play there by the center fielder, Peyton Harden. But the Highwheelers at least get another run. RBI for Blackford is his 13th. So Marine ends up scoring. Lede's at third. Blackford the sac fly. And now it's Justin Kirby, who is 1 for 1, an infield hit on a walk. That run is charged to Eden, who is still responsible for Lede at third. So 5-1 YOLO now in the bottom half of the fourth. And Reardon from the high set delivers. And a slider taken for a strike on the outside corner. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. So 0-1 the count to Kirby with Smith on deck. And the pitch on the way to Kirby, up and in for a ball, 1-1. So a couple of Atlanta area products here facing one another. Kirby and Reardon. 1 ball and 1 strike on this warm, breezy afternoon from Davis. And the pitch on the way. There goes Gonzalez. Pitch taken low inside and no throw to second. So Gonzalez will go in there easily with a slide. Gonzalez, that's his second steal and his 3rd attempt this year. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So now a base hit to the outfield could mean 2 more runs. The 1-2 pitch, and Kirby takes, and that's low and in, ball 2. And Oakland's going to challenge that call from plate umpire Eric Martinez. And we'll await the verdict here. And the pitch has been overturned to strike 3, so Kirby is called out on strikes, and Oakland wins the appeal. And that is Reardon's first. Imagine telling your family, yeah, my first pro strikeout was one that was challenged, and we won the appeal. But right now, YOLO is winning the game. 2 more runs for the Highwheelers. There were 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We move to the 5th. It's YOLO 5 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. On we go to the top half of the fifth inning. 5 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for the Yellow High Wheelers. Run 5 hits, 2 errors for the Oakland Ballers. And Peyton Harden leads it off. And the first pitch from Cameron Rapetti is rolled foul up along first, strike 1. And the count's no balls and 1 strike. So it'll be Harden. And then the top of the Oakland order for the left fielder Davis, and then Jefferson. As the 0-1 pitch, and that is taken high for a ball. And the count's runs now to 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count, and Harden lines this one foul up along first, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Yolo. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for Oakland. Harden 1 for 1 with a single. So Rapetti 5 strikeouts through his first 4+ innings this afternoon. He winds in the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. High fastball, and Harden chased that one well out of the zone. And he is out. 6 strikeouts now for Rapetti. Remember, he had 9 in his last start, the most by a High Wheeler pitcher this year. The loss he had at Northern Colorado a week ago tonight. So 1 down, and now for the 3rd time this evening, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the right fielder and Austin Davis, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Davis is fly to center. He is struck out swinging. A windup in the 0-1, and that is swung on, poked foul up along first. 0-2. The Oakland starter in Aaron Eden, 3 1/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 5 runs all earned. Walk 3, no strikeouts committed, a balk as the 0-2 is high outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. From Rapetti, who grew up in Orange County, grew up down in Cypress, the 1-2, and that is inside for ball 2-2. I don't know if Mendoza and Rapetti were crossed up right there or not, but anyway, it's ball 2. 2-2 the count from Rapetti. Rapetti mentioned 3 years at Cal State Fullerton, and then last season pitched in the NAIA ranks at Georgia Gwinnett College, where he was 12-1 for the Grizzlies. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Pitch up and away, and Davis is out. 7 strikeouts now for Rapetti. And now it's Miles Jefferson who comes up. Now Rapetti, his team last year with Georgia Gwinnett College was 50-8. Led the Grizzlies to the Continental Athletic Conference Championship, and individually led the team in wins. As he delivers a strike to Jefferson on the outside corner, 1-1 on the next pitch. Chop toward third. Nice pick by the third baseman, Blackford, and he will throw on to Gonzalez at first. So Blackford's made a couple of plays today where it's been an all or nothing. I mean, where he's had to come in, scoop the ball up. Otherwise, that ball easily goes under his glove. Instead, it goes as an out, 5-3 on the play at first. And Rapetti, strong 5 innings so far this afternoon. And Oakland goes in order for the 2nd time. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Halfway done, we go to the bottom of the 5th. Oakland will have a new pitcher when we get back with the score. Yolo 5 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. halfway done as we go to the bottom half of the fifth inning. It is 5-1. YOLO leading Oakland again tomorrow, 4:30, right back here at Dobbins Stadium. We'll be on Flow Sports. We'll be on YouTube Live and hope to see you at the ballpark. Again, 4:30 tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then Sunday we are at 105. Another change for Oakland, a couple of changes. The new pitcher is Chandler David. He is he's about to make his professional debut. And Dan Covino has come into play second base. Brad Burkell moves from second to shortstop. So Burkell moves from second to short, and Dan Covino will come into play second base, and we'll tell you where in the lineup he'll be in a moment. First pitch on the way to Tanner Smith, and that is outside from Chandler David. His first pro pitch outside, ball one. 1 ball, no strike. So Smith, Banks, and Mendoza, bottom third of the order. 5-1 YOLO in the 1-0, and that's low ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. So Burkell moves second to shortstop. Dan Covino, he comes into the ball game to play second base, and he will bat second. So Jefferson comes out of the ball game as the 2-0 pitch from Chandler David is outside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Smith. 0 for 2 is Tanner Smith with an RBI, and Tanner with that 9-game hitting streak takes low outside from Chandler David, ball 4. So Chandler David walks the first batter he sees professionally, and now Kirkland Banks bats. Jacob Reardon in his pro debut for Oakland tonight, 2/3 of an inning, a walk and a strikeout. So now it's Banks. He's 0 for 2. He's lined to third. He's grounded to third. Smith, the runner at first, being held on by Martinez. 5-1 YOLO, bottom of the fifth. And the pitch from David, and that's down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Chandler David is 6'1", 205 pounds, and a guy who I like already because he has a really, really good birthday, October 3rd. No balls and 1 strike to count. David sidestep offering, and a breaking ball drops it nicely for a strike on the inside corner, 0-2. In fact, how appropriate, and I should have picked this up when Smith walked in or got to the box, but Chandler David, as I just mentioned, his birthday's October 3rd. The first batter he ever faces professionally, Tanner Smith, his birthday's October 3rd. And now turning a throw over, and out is Smith. He's been picked off. So 1-3 on the pickoff. The pitcher David to the first baseman Martinez. And 1 October 3rd birthday picks off the other. So there's at least 3 of us at this ballpark today who have a birthday of October 3rd. Anyway, Billy Horton doesn't care whose birthday it is on any particular date. He's going to go over and have a discussion with the first base umpire, Bill Shortridge. Bill, who works a lot of games over at Sacramento State, obviously local to this area. Bill's out of Roseville. And anyway, out at first is Tanner Smith. Well, anyway, Chandler David, 6'1", 205 pounds, 23 years old, from Van Alstyne, Texas. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I might be the only person in this booth that's actually been to Van Alstyne, Texas. It's about an hour north of Dallas. So, regardless of the discussion from Billy Horton, the argument has been settled. Now Kirkland Banks, ground ball toward third, far to his left. Hubbard up with the spins around, throws to first, and a good pick at first by Noah Martinez. And Banks is out. Nice play there by Dondre Hubbard, moving to his left, and a good pick at first by Noah Martinez. So 2 down. And now Angel Martinez digs in with a 5-1 YOLO advantage over Oakland. Bottom half of the fifth. Anyway, Chandler David went on to play his college baseball at Sam Houston State, which most of you can probably figure out what state Sam Houston State University is located. Now it's Mendoza, and he takes to the knees, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. But anyway, Chandler David went down to Huntsville, Texas to play his college baseball. They wind up in the 0-1, and that hits the inside corner, strike 2. And the count now, no balls and 2 strikes to Mendoza, who's 0 for 2 today. And a 5-1 UC Davis lead. I'm sorry, 5-1, a YOLO lead. Correct that, 5-1 YOLO lead. So no balls and 2 strikes the count. So wind up in the 0-2 pitch, and that swung on, grounded to second base, right at Covino, up with it, and he'll throw to Martinez at first. And Mendoza is out. So Chandler David, a scoreless 5th inning in his first pro inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. We move to the 6th. It is YOLO 5 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live. Heading on to the top of the 6th inning, YOLO 5, Oakland 1. Cameron Rapetti, who's been in from the start. And the first pitch on the way to Andre Hubbard is outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Hubbard, Halsman, Martinez, 3-4-5. As Rapetti deals outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Hubbard is 1 for 2 this afternoon, a single and a run scored. So Rapetti 7 strikeouts through his first 5+ innings as he kicks in the 2-0. And Hubbard inside outs this one and pops it up foul right side. 2 balls and 1 strike. So 5 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for YOLO. 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors for Oakland. As Rapetti kicks and the 2-1. And Hubbard swings and he flies one high to right field. Smith is back, twisting and turning, and he'll have room on the warning track to make the catch. And Hubbard is out now. I'm going to safely say there's no doubt that ball would have been a home run in Oakland. Again, that place just an absolute bandbox. And talked about that YOLO had 18 homers in that series a couple of weeks ago, going on now 2 full weeks since YOLO was there. And Oakland in that series had 14 home runs. Hubbard had 4 of them. And that probably would have been a home run there, but again, it translates different here. As Halsema takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. And the next pitch, high fastball, swing and a miss, strike 2. And the count's at no balls and 2 strikes to Halsema. Single to left field in the first inning. 5-8-1 for YOLO, 1-5-2 for Oakland. So no balls and 2 strikes the count. And the pitch, and Halsema pop-up foul right side by the USC alum. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Mentioned that Oakland 16-3 win on Sunday. Oakland had a 5-run first, 3 in the 4th, 7 in the 5th, added another run later. The 0-2 outside, ball 1, 1-2. Halsema was Didn't play the entire game. On Sunday, he was 0 for 1 with a couple of runs scored and an RBI. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. As Repetti, 3-quarter windup and the 1-2. Strike 3 called outside corner. And Halsema punched out on strikes. And that is the 8th strikeout for Repetti, who is now 1 away from matching what he did in his last start at Northern Colorado last week, where he fanned 9. Again, that's the most by a high wheeler this year in one game. Now it's Noah Martinez, who's 1 for 2 with a single to right. 5-1 Yolo, and the pitch to Martinez, and that's a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Martinez, in that game on Sunday, hit a grand slam as he swings and lines one foul up along first. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Yeah, against Rocky Mountain, Martinez on Sunday was 1 for 2, but that one was pretty economical. The grand slam, the 0-2 pitch, up and away for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 5-1. Yolo leading here, Yolo leading Oakland here in the top half of the 6th, with Colton Horner wetting on deck. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A windup by Repetti. He delivers, and a breaking ball swing and a foul at the plate by Martinez, who played his college baseball at both Central Connecticut State and also at Pittsburgh. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Repetti, who's a strike away from matching, as I said, his output last time with 9 strikeouts. The 1-2 outside, ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Yolo home for 6, and then they're right back on the road to Idaho Falls next week. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch on the way, and that's up and away, ball 3. And the count's now at 3 balls and 2 strikes from Cameron Repetti. 3-2 the count. Outfield fairly deep straightaway. Infield all the way around. The 3-2 swing, tapper, foul up along first. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Martinez. Pretty big guy at 6'5", 235 pounds. Really built like a first baseman. The 3-2 breaking ball, and that's popped up foul back of the plate. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Martinez. Again, this is our first opportunity on Flow Sports via Verge Productions. The 3-2, and that's high outside, ball 4. So Martinez able to work a walk out of Repetti. And now here is Colton Horner. So it's the first walk issued by Repetti today. And now Colton Horner digs in with a 5-1 lead for Yolo. Top of the 6th inning. Our first first home series, which only lasted 3 games, that was produced by UC Davis, and then we were YouTube Live only for the second home series. And then the team's been out of town the last couple of weeks, and now this is the first Verge production, so I want to compliment Joe and Paul and all the folks at Verge to help set a couple of very big monitors up, helping with all the audio and video here. A great job. Verge based out of Wisconsin, but a company that goes around the United States and sets up scoreboards and public address systems, video feeds, makes all of this possible. Go around the United States. I think maybe a little bit into Canada as well. Now it's Horner who swings and fouls into the backstop, strike 1. And the count's now at no balls and 1 strike to Horner, who singled to right field in the 4th. And Repetti delivers, and Horner looks down the middle, strike 2. And the count's at no balls and 2 strikes with Gates on deck, and the pitch, high ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mention tomorrow back here at 4:30 for the broadcast time. Christian Cosby tomorrow for Oakland, a right-hander against Yolo lefty Dawson Lane. The 1-2 low, ball 2 to Horner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Colton, capital C-O-L-E-T-O-N, Colton Horner, who is 26 years old, was in the Pioneer League last year with Ogden. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the pitch, Horner swings, grounder foul up along third, 2-2 the count. And I look down at Micah Franklin in the third base coach's box, and this is a new league for Micah. I'm going to have to talk to him tomorrow. Find out how many professional baseball stadiums now Micah can add to his list, being that this course now is used for professional baseball. Of course, Oakland with a new venue for him as well in pro ball. 2-2 the count. 5-1 Yolo. Top of the sixth, lay on the pitch, and Horner swings and misses strike three. Chase that one well out of the zone. He is out, so 9 strikeouts for Rapetti, which matches output from his last start. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning. It is Yolo 5 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. Now we go to the bottom half of the sixth inning. It is 5-1. Yolo out in front over the Oakland Ballers. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and also on Flow Sports. Sac St. Pierre is the new pitcher for the Oakland Ballers. Top of the Yolo order for the fourth time for the center fielder Braylon Skinner, who takes high ball one. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Skinner, Marine, and Leday to face St. Pierre, who we saw as a starting pitcher a few weeks ago for Oakland. The pitch on the way hit foul up along third. 1 ball and 1 strike. St. Pierre's record 0-2 with a 10.5 ERA, 7th appearance, his 5th as a reliever. Long delivered full windup in the 1-1. Check swing, foul ball, left side, 1-2. I'll just received some obviously devastating news that Willie Mays has passed away. That's, I think, a tough one for just about anybody who's picked up a baseball in their life, whether it be in their backyard or anywhere else. And don't know more to add on that one, as the 1-2 is high, 2-2. As many of you know, this Thursday is going to be the tribute game to Willie Mays, the 2-2. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, strike 3, and Skinner is out. And that's the first strikeout for St. Pierre. Bottom of the sixth inning, 5-1 Yolo. Willie Mays, who turned 93 back in early May, back on May 6th. And again, a lot of obviously press leading up to the tribute game to Willie Mays, who grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, played at Rickwood Field. As the pitch on the way to Braylon Marine is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Rickwood Field, the oldest still in use professional baseball stadium in this country, built in 1910 in Birmingham, the 0-1, and that's inside 1-1. And just the fact that Willie passed away today with that game in 48 hours in Birmingham, don't know how to digest that one, the 1-1, and that's up and in ball too, 2-1. Obviously somebody I grew up around the Giants family, certainly spoiled enough to get to meet Willie Mays several occasions, and there was no greater Giant. I mean, there's no other way to put that. The windup in the 2-1, and that swung on, and that's smoked down the left field side. That's going to get down, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. The left fielder hauls him up with a ball, and Braylon Marine will go into second base with a double. So Braylon Marine, another 4-hit game. He had a 4-hit game in Northern Colorado. He's got a 4-hit game tonight for Braylon Marine. So Marine mentioned a 9-game hitting streak. Extended that a ways back in this game. Now with 21 hits over his last 9 games. So Braylon Marine reached base safely 15 times in that series in Northern Colorado. Now Bobby Leday swings, and he has a 4-hit day. Line drive, right field, base hit. Marine to third, and Leday now 4 for 4. So Marine and Leday each with 4-hit games here this afternoon. 10 hits now for Yolo, so now that's 7 straight games in which Yolo has had at least 10 hits. 5-1 Yolo, bottom of the 6th inning. Now Jose Gonzalez bats. He's 1 for 2, an RBI double and a walk. But I think this is certainly going to, obviously it's as they say, the greatest Giant of all time, and arguably the greatest all-around baseball player ever. There goes Leday, and he just takes right off, and he'll go into second base standing up. That is his 4th stolen base tonight. So they gave him second base, no throw from the catcher Horner. Leday now with 14 steals and 15 tries this year. And now the 1-0 pitch with runners at second and third, and strike called on the outside corner. And now they're gonna challenge that. So Yolo wins the challenge. Yolo challenged it, I say they. Yolo challenged it. So instead of 1-2, the count I believe is going to be now 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2-1 the count to Gonzalez. So Marine is at third. Leday is at second. Yolo 5 and Oakland 1 here in the 6th inning. But the Rickwood Classic, the Major League game Thursday night, as I said, it is in tribute to Willie Mays. And Willie would not have been there anyway, the 2-0, and that's outside 3-0. Willie had put out a statement yesterday thanking the Giants, the Cardinals, and Major League Baseball for putting a Major League Baseball game on at Rickwood Field for the first time, and regretted not being able to attend. Willie certainly had been in poor health. He passed away at 93, been in poor health the last few years. And as I said, this is a tough one, folks. Not going to lie about this. The passing of the greatest Giant. And again, arguably the greatest baseball player of all time. 5-1 Yolo, bottom of the 6th inning. Outfield medium depth straight away in the 3-0 pitch. And Gonzalez breaks his bat and cues one fair. Down the third base side. Marine will score. Leday will follow. Gonzalez digging for second. He's got a 2-run stand-up double. As the left fielder Halsema goes into foul ground to pick up the baseball. Gets it in towards second. 2 more runs are home for Yolo. It is now 7-1 in favor of the High Wheelers. Gonzalez has his second double tonight, or this afternoon for that matter. Gives him now 3 RBIs today. Gonzalez now 23 RBIs this year. And now it's Braden Blackford who comes up. So now it's Braden Blackford who is 0 for 1, a walk, a sac fly. 7 runs, 11 hits, an error for Yolo. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for Oakland. And now Blackford bats. But Willie Mays, played high school games at Rickwood Field. I've had a chance to go to Rickwood Field. The pitch on the way, and that's taken in the dirt, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes to Blackford. And what a scene, no matter what it was going to be on Thursday night in Birmingham, and now this game takes on really a whole new meaning 48 hours after the passing of the Say Hey Kid. 1 ball and no strikes the count with 1 out. 7-1, Yolo, bottom of the 6th inning. St. Pierre to the plate, and Blackford swings, hits one sharply to second, right at Dan Covino, up with it, and he'll throw to Martinez at first. Blackford is out. Gonzalez goes to third, but with 2 out now. 7-1, Yolo. And here is the left fielder and Justin Kirby. Willie Mays had been the oldest living Hall of Famer, obviously, and obviously his health had been in decline. His sight had got bad the last few years, but 24 Willie Mays Plaza. What more can you say? The 1-0 pitch and the breaking ball taken for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. When the Oracle Park was built, opening in 2000, there was a new expression for people when they came to that stadium. They would just say, hey, let's meet at the statue. Let's meet at 12:30 at the statue. And you know what statue they were talking about. The 0-1 pitch is a strike called on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. It'll always be 24. Well, better always be always 24 Willie Mays Plaza. But and that statue will forever be planted, cemented there. But obviously our thoughts with the Giants family, the Mays family, the baseball family, and so many. The 0-2 pitch, and that's low, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You check your phone. I check my phone during games for, to see updates and whatnot, and just saw that come across, and he was the giant of giants, folks. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count with 2 outs. Gonzalez at third. Kirby at the plate is 1 for 2 tonight. An infield single and a walk. The 1-2 pitch, and that's outside, ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Outfield medium depth straight away. Gonzalez leads at third. 7-1 Yolo. St. Pierre delivers just outside to Kirby, ball 3. 3-2 the count. The guy who's in a Yolo uniform, bench coach Gary Davenport, essentially grew up with Willie Mays. And I say grew up, Willie certainly older, but Gary as a kid was around Willie Mays. The 3-2 to Kirby, and that spoiled foul to the screen. 3-2, Gary's father, Jim, who, much like Willie, was a great Giant. And Jim, who was the first batter ever in the San Francisco history of the Giants. But obviously Gary, being born in the mid-'60s, was born while his dad was still playing, and I'm sure spent countless hours with Willie Mays, and I'm sure tonight's going to be a tough one for Gary Davenport as well. 3-2 the count with 2 out. Gonzalez at third, and the 3-2 pitch to Kirby, and that's low and in, ball 4. So he's on base for the 3rd time here this afternoon. 7-1 Yolo. So, unfortunately, Willie Mays will not live to see the game that is being dedicated to him. I know the Giants have just opened a Willie Mays Museum right across the street from Oracle Park, where I actually have not, the museum that is, I've not been yet. That museum will be open through August, maybe longer now, who knows. The pitch on the way to Smith Tanner Smith outside, ball 1. 1-0. Giants are at Wrigley Field tonight. That game is 2-2 in the going to the 7th inning. They'll kick in the 1-0, and Smith is swinging a miss, strike one, 1-1. Can imagine what word it was like trickling into that dugout. But no doubt, very tough right now around the Giant family. The 1-1 pitch, and that's a called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tributes already all around for Willie Mays from the commissioner's office and beyond, and obviously with the Rickwood game, the Willie Mays game this week, will be many more. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch, and Smith made a motion of the pitch, and he takes high ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. We'll certainly tomorrow dive in more about Willie Mays and just pretty much everywhere you go on YouTube now, or well, not YouTube, the internet now, anywhere will be stories about Willie. The 2-2 pitch, and Smith takes low ball 3. And the count's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. So with 3-2 and 2 out, Kirby will be off automatically from first base. So Gonzalez at third, Kirby at first. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 7-1 YOLO. Bottom of the 6th, and Kirby goes, and the 3-2 up and away, ball 4. So Smith probably will get one more chance to extend his hitting streak, which is at 9 right now, but he has been on base safely twice tonight, also with an RBI. So Gonzalez holds at third, Kirby at second, Smith at first, and now it's Kirkland Banks who bats with the bags full. Banks has lined out to third. He's grounded out twice to third. He swings and chops this ball through the vacated right side, right field, base hit. Gonzalez will score. Kirby, he is on his way home. He'll score standing up. Up to second is Smith. And Kirkland Banks makes it now 9-1 in favor of YOLO. So Kirby, with that run scored, he has now scored a run in 7 straight games. So Smith up to second base, and Kirkland Banks give him 2 RBIs. Now 12 and 13 on the year for Banks, and that will be all for St. Pierre. So we have a pitching change. St. Pierre does not get through the 6th inning, and we will see Kelsey Whitmore when we get back with the score in the bottom of the 6th with 2 on and 2 out. YOLO 9 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live. Well, 4 runs home for YOLO here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 9-1 in favor of the YOLO High Wheelers, and Kelsey Whitmore, she comes on to do the pitching. We saw Whitmore in a starting role while we were in Oakland a couple of weeks ago. So St. Pierre lasts just 2/3 of an inning, and now Kelsey Whitmore, who has started a few games this year for Oakland, She will do the pitching. And she will face the ninth man to bat in this inning, and Angel Mendoza. Runners at first and second, and Mendoza swings, and he bloops this one. That still hits the back of the infield dirt. Base hit. Smith rounds third, and he will score. And it's now 10-1 YOLO. Banks goes first to third, and Mendoza give him an RBI single. That ball hit the very back portion of the dirt in the infield. So just a jam shot, and then carry him further on the right, where the right fielder Davis picked up the ball. So give Mendoza an RBI. So for Angel Mendoza, that's his ninth run batted in. That's now 4 straight 2-out batters who've reached. Now the top of the YOLO order for the 5th time, and the 2nd time in this inning for the center fielder Braylon Skinner, who takes a strike on the inside corner from Whitmore. No balls and 1 strike the count. Whitmore 5'6", 160 pounds, the 0-1. That's outside for ball 101. You know, I read that, and I broadcast women's basketball. You know, one thing they don't put on women's basketball rosters are the weights of the players. They put the heights of the players. And I'm reading that, and they, put her weight. Normally you don't go, this is not a normal situation, the 1-1. And Skinner goes around, strike 2, 1-2, being that Whitmore is one of the very few females who's ever played professional baseball. But, so, might be the first time I ever said for a female, yeah, I certainly have said the height, but she is 160 pounds. Hey, I'm only reading what's on the paper that's put out publicly. 1-2 pitches in the dirt. It gets past the catcher Horner and to the screen. It'll be a wild pitch, and Banks will come in from third, and he will score. Now 11-1 YOLO. Mendoza up to second base on the wild pitch, charged to Whitmore. The count to Skinner is at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 11-1 now in favor of YOLO. Bottom of the 6th inning. Skinner is 1 for 3. Single and a run scored. That was in the 4th. The 1-2 here is up and away, ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count from Kelsey Whitmore, who's 0-1 this year. Her ERA is at 14.9. 6th appearance and her 4th out of the bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Breaking ball gets Skinner, who actually strikes out twice in this inning. And Kelsey Whitmore strikes out Braylon Skinner. But a 6-run 6th for the Yellow High Wheelers on 5 hits. So 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors. And Mendoza stranded at second. We go to the 7th, YOLO 11 and Oakland 1. Chris Englund will be the new pitcher for YOLO when we get back on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. We go to the top of the seventh inning. All YOLO here this afternoon, 11-1. YOLO out in front over Oakland. And Chris Englund is the new YOLO pitcher. And the first pitch on the way to Gates, who's taken for a strike on the inside corner. And the count's no balls and one strike to J.P. Gates. 11-1 YOLO. Englund makes the 0-1, and that's outside for a ball. 1 strike. So it's Gates, Burkell, and Hardin. Bottom third of the Ballers' order. So YOLO had some big innings in that series in Northern Colorado, including an 8-run 8th and a 4-run 9th on Sunday, and then had a 4-run 2nd on Saturday. The 1-1 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. 1 and 2 strikes the count. Have a 6-run 6th here tonight. Go along with 13 hits. Gates, meanwhile, challenged that call and was overturned to a ball. So the count's at 2 balls and a strike to Gates in his first pro game. And he is 0 for 2. He has struck out swinging, has popped to short. 11-1 in favor of YOLO. As Englund's 2-1 pitch, and that's a strike on the outside corner. So 2 balls and 2 strikes from Englund. His record, no wins, no losses. 10th appearance all out of the bullpen, ERA of 8.44 for the former Brave and Tiger farmhand. The 2-2 pitch, outside ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes now. So Cameron Rapetti, an outstanding job. 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 run, which was not earned. 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. And a balk, the 3-2 here, and Gates takes just outside ball 4. Close pitch there, leadoff walk. So Gates down to first, so he reaches base for the first time as a pro baseball player. 11-1 YOLO, top half of the 7th. And now Brad Burkell will come up to face Englund, who's 5'11", 175 pounds, 22 years old. So they confirmed the Highlanders wanted to confirm that one, but that is a ball. So it is ball 4. And now Burkell, who has struck out swinging twice, with an 11-1 YOLO advantage. Outfield medium depth and straightaway, and the pitch on the way, and that's taken for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. We're talking about the passing of Willie Mays. Died to. Not sure what time he passed today, but died when he died today. Was living in the Bay Area. I want to say Willie lived down near Hillsboro. The 0-1 pitch is outside ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. I never did get to see Willie Mays play, but I certainly, as I said, got to meet him a couple of times. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Burkell takes outside 2-1. He was still very active with the Giants. I mean, for the better, I don't mean the last couple of years when his health started to decline, but I mean for the most part within the last, really after his playing days were done, you'd always see Willie in the clubhouse. He was at spring training. Outfield medium depth straightaway. 2 balls, 1 strike. Englund delivers, and that's foul to the backstop. Strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, the number 24, symbolic because that's the amount of all-star games he appeared. Was on a Giants World Championship team as a New York Giant in '54, the 2-2. And that swung on, fly to center field. Skinner broke back, now comes in, and he'll eventually be there to make the catch. And Burkell is out on a fly ball to center. So that is out number 1 here in the top of inning number 7. 11 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error for YOLO. 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors for Oakland. And now Peyton Hardin bats. He is 1 for 2. Hardin as Englund comes set and the pitch, and that's a breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 1. And the count's no balls and 1 strike. Final line on Zach St. Pierre, the Oakland reliever in the 6th inning, 2/3 of an inning, 4 hits, 6 runs all earned. 2 walks and a strikeout as Harden swings, and he skies this one to right. Smith in a handful of steps, and the right fielder reaches above his black cap to make the catch. And Harden is out, 2 down. 11-1, Yolo leading Oakland. Top half of the 7th inning. This is Doug Greenwald. You're listening to the Yolo High Wheelers on YouTube Live and also on Flow Sports. And now for the 4th time this afternoon, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the right fielder, Austin Davis. He is 0 for 3. And Chris England's pitch, and Davis takes, and that is high ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count. And England back to the plate, and that's taken for a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. So in the last couple of weeks, you think about, Willie Mays, who was really within the last week. I mean, the last, 6 days, baseball loses who it had been its greatest living player. I don't think there's anybody else who had been alive recently that could do all the things Willie Mays did. And then, of course, the passing last week of NBA and basketball legend Jerry West, the 1-1, and that's taken for a strike, 1-2. And Jerry West was simply known as the logo. I mean, the NBA logo is a silhouette of Jerry West. So within a week, our sports world and world in general loses Jerry West and Willie Mays. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball outside, 2-2. I wonder if those two ever met one another. I'm going to guess they did. I mean, I think when you're that high up in athletic prowess, that I'm sure somewhere along the lines those two would have met. The kick on the 2-2, low 3-2. I can only imagine what that conversation would have been about. Willie probably would have been bragging to Jerry West about how great a basketball player Willie was in high school, and Jerry West, I'm not sure if Jerry, I don't know if Willie actually played basketball. Well, knowing Willie, though, he would have told Jerry West he would have played basketball. 3-2 the count. Gates ready to go from first. He takes off the 3-2 just outside ball 4. So Davis is on base for the first time. Gates up to second base. Now Dan Covino, who came into the ballgame in the 5th inning to play second base, he comes up for the first time. 2:15 for Covino, 2 homers, and he has 5 runs batted in. But 2 major names in our athletic society we've lost in the last week. So now the pitch on the way to Covino, and that is low ball 1-0. And then a couple weeks before that, Bill Walton, one of the great NBA centers of all time, certainly one of the great college centers of all time, no doubt, also left us. 1-0 the count. And the pitch, and Covino takes low ball 2. So now 2 balls and no strikes the count to Dan Covino, who homered in the series, in that series against Yolo a few weeks ago. 11-1 Yolo here in the 6th, here in the top half of the 7th. But again, the tributes pouring in, and tell you who else I would have to think would have met Willie Mays. We're talking about Gary Davenport, the Yolo bench coach, who probably knew Willie Mays just about as well as anybody outside of the Mays family. But Jerome Williams, you remember, Jerome came up as a Giant. Hard to believe 20 years ago, Jerome came up as a Giant and pitched with the Giants on and off from 03 to 05. But all the years Jerome was at spring training and in the big league clubhouse as well. I'd have to think Jerome and Willie shook hands. The kick on the 2-0 pitch to Covino, way inside ball 3, 3-0. Wondering if somebody is warming in the Yellow bullpen. Can't see. Can't see down the left field, or can't see down either line. The 3-0 pitch. And that's low outside ball 4, so back-to-back 2-out walks. Couple that with the leadoff walk to Gates. 3rd walk of the inning allowed by Anglin. And now it's going to be Jalen Smith who's going to pinch hit. Dondre Hubbard apparently left and went down the left field line to, I believe, warm up for Oakland. So Jalen Smith, he will pinch hit for Hubbard in the top half of the seventh inning with Yolo up by a count of 11-1. So Jalen Smith will come to the plate. For Smith, digs in at 278. He has 3 homers, and he has 10 runs batted in. 11 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error for Yolo. 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors for Oakland. Of course, we're getting every day a inch closer to the summer solstice, the longest day of the year in the United States, or pretty much all of North America is what I mean, and where it stays the latest. So here is Smith, who takes outside, ball 1. And the count to Jalen Smith is at 1 ball and no strikes. To Smith, who's from the Atlanta area. So 1 ball and no strikes to count to Smith. He homered in that series against Yolo. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, Smith took Connor Langrell deep in what was an 11-6 Yolo win at Oakland at Ramonde Park back on June 8th. The 1-1 on the way is chopped to shortstop. It's gloved by Marine, and he'll toss the ball to Banks at second to get the force on Covino. 6-4 on the play there. And that concludes the 7th inning. 3 walks, but nothing more. No runs, no hits, no errors. And Oakland leaves the bases loaded. Stretch time on this Tuesday night from Davis, California. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Yolo 11 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live. First pitch on the way to Bobby Leday, leading off the bottom of the 7th, is driven high and deep to left field and gone. Braylon Marine, I beg your pardon. Braylon Marine, the first pitch is gone. Home run, Braylon Marine. Takes Kelsey Whitmore deep, and it's now 12-1 in favor of Yolo. Marine, Leday, and Gonzalez, 2, 3, and 4. So Marine, who I think a moment ago, last time up, I had said that the Marine and Leday each had 4 hits. Now they have 4 hits. I think I had said when Leday had accomplished his 4 hits. And they're just going to pass on Leday. They just walked him intentionally right there. Oh, he got hit by a pitch. Okay, first pitch was inside, and I beg your pardon, I missed it. Hit by pitch. Well, it's almost the same thing. I don't think she wanted any part of facing Bobby Leday, so I think they just... And I don't think Leday was going to charge the mound on Kelsey Whitmore either. So, anyway, Marine give him a home run. We'll catch up on that in a moment. The score is 12-1, and now in favor of Yolo. Now it's Jose Gonzalez who takes outside ball 1-0. So Leday hit with a pitch, breaking ball down, and that hit him. Now it's Jose Gonzalez, and he takes low ball 1-0. So Marine, with that home run, is now a triple shy of the cycle. Swing here and a tapper on the grass toward first. That's grabbed by Martinez. He'll take the ball to the bag and steps on first for the unassisted out. Leday moves up to second. 12-1 Yolo.
Now batting number 7.
Yeah, because when you intentionally walk somebody, it's not the old school anymore where you have to throw 4 pitch outs. You can just tell the umpire, hey, we're going to put this guy on. And that's what I thought happened when I saw Leday go to first so early in the when he had just got in. But no, he was actually hit with a pitch. So now it's Braden Blackford, and he looks low from Whitmore, ball 1-0. Jalen Smith stays in the game. He will play third base. I thought when Hubbard went down toward left field that maybe he was going to go warm up and pitch, but he's just done for the day. So Jalen Smith, after pinch hitting, stays in the game to play third. Braden Blackford ahead at 1 ball, no strikes. Now Blackford homered off of Kelsey Whitmore in Oakland, and he takes outside 2-0. Blackford is 0 for 2. He's walked, and he has a sac fly. Braylon Marine again with that home run to get this inning going as Blackford takes up an away ball 3-0. Marine with a home run. That's his third of the year. He's got 2 RBIs tonight, giving him 21 this season. So 3 balls and no strikes with a 12-1 Yolo lead, bottom 7. And the 3-0, and that's down the middle, strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike to Blackford. So I mentioned Blackford homered off of Kelsey Whitmore. We were in Oakland, and I talked to him the next day, and he did confirm it's the first time he has ever taken a female for a home run. That's what he told me. 3-1 pitch, and he takes a strike on the outside corner, 3-2. And I did share this story with you 2 weeks ago, but I'll refresh it. That Blackford did have practice hitting against a female because his girlfriend would play wiffle ball with him in the backyard over the winter. So he was prepared to face Whitmore, I guess. 3 ball, 2 strike pitch, and that swung on, and that's laced in the center field, a base hit. Horton will point Leday to the plate, and he will score standing up. And it's now 13-1 Yolo. Ball was hit just to the second base side of the second base bag, so Blackford give him his first hit today. It's a second run batted in for Blackford. Now has 14 RBIs this year. And now it's Kirby. So every high-wheeler, again, has reached base safely now that Blackford is... Oh, no, Blackford, I'm correct that he had walked earlier. So now the Kirby hit toward third, snagged nicely by Jalen Smith, but can't get the ball cleanly out of his glove. And it'll be... We'll see how they score that. He got to the ball, and then he bobbled it. And we're debating right now whether or not that should be a... So, yeah. My take on that one is... I think he got to the ball, and then he bobbled it after that. So now it's Tanner Smith who chops this ball to first. It's gloved by Martinez. Underhand toss the pitcher, Whitmore covering. And Tanner Smith is out, so that could be Tanner's last chance to extend his hitting streak. Now he's been on base safely twice. Blackford on the error moves to second, and then on the ground out, 3-1, moves to third. Kirby, again, moves up to second base on the 3-1 ground out. It is 13-1 Yolo. And now it's Kirkland Banks who's 1 for 4 with a 2-run single and a run scored. 13-1 Yolo, and Whitmore's pitch fouled off right side, strike 1-0-1. But at least even though Smith doesn't have a hit, every high-wheeler in the lineup today has reached base safely. So it's now, they're up now, believe 5 straight games. Now I have to account, I believe 5 straight games where every high-wheeler in the starting lineup has reached base safely. By the way, that error on Smith, that's the third error for Oakland. As the pitch popped up, foul right side, strike 2. We'll count now at no balls and 2 strikes. But yeah, let's see here. Sunday, every high-wheeler in the starting lineup ended up reaching base safely. Last Saturday, every high wheeler in the starting lineup reached base safely. As the pitch line foul right side. No balls, 2 strikes. Game before that, every high wheeler in the starting lineup reached base safely. It's 4, 5. It's a pretty good streak they have. So now 5th straight game. 5 straight games now. Every high wheeler in the starting lineup has reached base safely. Runners at second and third in the 0-2, and that's high ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 13 runs, 15 hits, and 1 error for Yolo. 1 run, 5 hits, now 3 errors for Oakland. So Blackford's at third, Kirby's at second. Outfield medium depth straightaway. And Kelsey Whitmore's 1-2, low 2-2. Kelsey, she has long hair, brownish hair that covers up her number 9 on the back of her green shirt. So you have Whitmore pitching for Oakland, Englund in the game for Yolo, the pitcher. And it might be the only time ever that Chris Englund has pitched simultaneously as someone else who has longer hair than he does. I'm gonna point that out to Chris Englund tomorrow. I'm gonna go up to Englund tomorrow. I'm like, hey, Chris, not the first time you've ever been in a game simultaneous. I know they're not out there literally together, but you know what I mean, folks. That somebody else had longer hair than you. Her pitch, the 2-2 from the former softball player at Cal State Fullerton Whitmore, popped up foul, and that'll reach the seats just back of the backstop. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count with a 13-1 Yolo lead. Bottom half of the 7th inning. So Blackford is at third, Kirby's at second. Banks again a 2-run single in that 6-run 6th. As Whitmore comes set, and the 2-2 up and away from Kelsey Whitmore. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now Whitmore was a starting pitcher in that series in Oakland. She started the game against the High Wheelers. The kick on the 3-2, and Banks swings, and he flies this one toward right. Davis on the run in the foul ground, and the ball goes foul. And the count now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Whitmore in that game allowed 2 home runs. One was to Leday, and one was to Blackford. Now tonight she's given up a home run to Marine. So Braylon Marine, now we can say it has a 4-hit game. I think I was a little presumptuous, last time up. I can't read my own writing. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count with 2 out. Blackford's at third, Kirby's at second. 13-1 Yolo, the 3-2, and that ends up hitting Banks. Pitch up and in, got him around his left arm. So, second batter Whitmore, she has hit in this inning. She hit Leday earlier. Now Banks down to first. 13-1 Yolo. Well, Whitmore, when she started that game, it was on June 6th, game in which ended in the knockout round with Oakland winning. But Whitmore went the first 3 innings and pitched quite well. Now it's Angel Mendoza, and he takes a strike on the outside corner from Kelsey 0-1. She, at the time, was the first female starting pitcher in the history of the Pioneer League. Mendoza, he is 1 for 4 with an RBI single. So bases loaded, and the 0-1, and Angel takes in the dirt for a ball. And the count's a 1 ball and 1 strike from Whitmore, who, yes, did play Little League Baseball, and we mentioned her playing softball at Cal State Fullerton. For Kelsey Whitmore, who does have pro experience as a pitcher and a position player with Staten Island in the Atlantic League last year. The 1-1, and that's high ball 2 from Kelsey Whitmore. Fastball, curveball, changeup, and she's behind at 2 balls and 1 strike. On deck, the top of the order, the center fielder, and Braylon Skinner. Outfield medium depth straightaway, and the 2-1 pitch, and Mendoza takes, and that's a strike on the inside corner, 2-2. But it's been a big year for me. I've now seen things I have rarely seen ever on a professional baseball field. I was at a minor league game in Hillsboro, Oregon in April, saw a female umpire. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch upcoming. Here it is, and Mendoza takes outside ball 3, 3-2. And I apologize for forgetting the female umpire in the Northwest League. I saw work home plate, but when I was up in Oregon, did get to see that. And I get to see a female pitcher at the professional level. Runners all ready to go. 3-2 the count. They take off, and the pitch up and in, ball 4. And that'll force home Blackford. It makes it 14-1 YOLO. So give Mendoza an RBI and the bases loaded walk. Kirby goes to third. So Kirby goes to third, Banks to second, Mendoza to first. So his second RBI tonight. Give Angel Mendoza his 10th run batted in this year. And now for the 6th time tonight, YOLO will go to the top of its order, but instead we're going to see a pinch hitter. It's not going to be Braylon Skinner. We're going to see Kyle Guerra. So he will pinch hit. And the pitch from Whitmore, and that's a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Well, Whitmore, I know she's trying to learn a slider. She, after that outing against YOLO, had gone to the pitching coach, Jim Dietrich, and wanted him to teach her a slider, mix in a little more on the arsenal. The 0-1 pitch outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to the pinch hitter, and Guerra digs in at 3:08, no homers. He has 5 runs batted in. 14-1 YOLO. Bottom of the 7th and the 1-1. And Kyle swings and slaps this one towards short. It's gloved by Burkell, and he will throw to Martinez at first. And Guerra is out. But YOLO, for the 2nd straight inning, sent at least 9 to the plate. Last inning it was 10. This inning is 9, starting on the Marine homer. So 3 more runs for the YOLO High Wheelers on 2 hits. There was 1 error, and YOLO leaves the bases loaded. Noah Lewis will come on and do the pitching for YOLO as we head to the 8th inning. It is 14-1 YOLO over Oakland on YouTube Live. It is 14-1 YOLO as we move on to the top half of the 8th inning. Noah Lewis, you can see warming up. He is the new pitcher for the YOLO High Wheelers. He'll make his 3rd appearance with YOLO. He's been in 2 relief outings for the High Wheelers. Both have been perfect innings, and this is the first time he's pitched in a home game for YOLO. Kyle Guerra, after pinch hitting for Braylon Skinner in the bottom of the 7th. Kyle Guerra, he will stay in the game and play center field. So those are the moves here in the top half of the 8th. And the YOLO High Wheelers up 14-1. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. So Noah Lewis, as I said, on to do the pitching. 14-1 YOLO. And the first pitch on the way to Trevor Halsman. That's taken for a strike on the outside corner. And the count is at no balls and 1 strike. Pitch, swinging a ground ball deep in the hole at short. Gloved by the shortstop in Marine to his right. Long throw over to Gonzalez at first, but not in time. And Aaron Halsema or Trevor Halsema has an infield single. So Halsema now 2 for 4 this evening. There'll be a base hit for Halsema. Or are they going to? They're going to. I think Billy Horton said that maybe Gonzalez came off the bag and might have tagged Halsema going by. I mean, it looked like Halsema, where I was sitting, was safe, but it doesn't matter what I think. But Eric Martinez, the home plate umpire, trailing the play, said that Halsema was out. Martinez saw the tag by Gonzalez, so instead of an infield single, it is 1 out, so 6-3 on the play at first. Turns out a nice play there by Braylon Marine. So, tough to say, you get a break when you're up 14-1, but it's a break for Lewis. Doesn't have to worry about a base runner. So Halsema is out, and now it's Noah Martinez who comes up, and he takes outside ball 1 from Noah Lewis. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes, and Lewis misses high outside ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Lewis is 23 years old, 6'2", 190 pounds. He's from Pleasanton, and he's a Pleasant story as well, the 2-0. And he misses outside ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes the count. Lewis made the, at least spring training portion of the club. He had come to an open tryout here and then was good enough to be invited to spring training. The 3-0 pitch from Lewis, and that's a strike on the inside corner. And the count's now at 3 balls and 1 strike with Yolo up 14-1 in the top of the 8th inning. And then, as I said, made it as far as spring, the 3-1 pitch, and that's outside ball 4 to Martinez, who's on base for the 3rd time tonight.
Now batting number 27, Colton Horner.
Well, now it's Colton Horner who will come up. Colton Horner, he digs in, and Lewis's pitch outside ball 1-0. Horner is 1 for 3. Well, anyway, Noah Lewis, and you might have heard me talk about it over the weekend when he was pitching in the games at Northern Colorado, but Lewis was let go right before the season started. Swing, ground ball to third, grabbed by Blackford. He goes to the second baseman Banks for 1, and on to Gonzalez at first. That's a double play. So Noah Lewis, 3rd game, 3rd shutout inning for him as a high wheeler. So Lewis, who was just brought back, he had made it professionally in the Pecos League up the road in Marysville, but now a little higher level for him in the Pioneer League with Yolo. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. On to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is Yolo 14 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live and Flow Sports. On we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 14-1. YOLO out in front over the Oakland Ballers. Ian Jenkins is the new pitcher. And he misses outside ball 1-1-0. Now, we did not see Jenkins, who was really an outfielder, but coming on to eat up an inning here. Jenkins, 5'11", 215 pounds. He's 26 years old from the Atlanta area. And the first pitch, line toward left field for Braylon Marine, who's got a 5-hit game. Now, he was a triple shy of the cycle coming into the at-bat. He'll have to settle for a single. Marine is the first high-wheeler to have a 5-hit game. So he is now 5 for 6. 16 hits now for the high-wheelers. And a 14-1 advantage. So Marine, Lede, and Gonzalez, the same three that got that 3-run 7th going. And now Jenkins delivers, and that drilled Lede. Got him right above the numbers, right above the number 11, and he has to throw the bat and his shin protector over toward the first base YOLO dugout. So Lede, back-to-back times, he has been hit with a pitch. And he is on base now safely for the 6th time. And he's the first high-wheeler to reach base safely 6 times in a game. And just like that, first and second with nobody out. And a 14-1 YOLO lead. Bottom of the 8th. Now it's Gonzalez, who is 2 for 4, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs and a run scored. And Jenkins delivers a strike on the inside corner. And the count's a no balls and a strike. Jenkins is, as I said, is an outfielder. This is his first pitching appearance as Gonzalez swings and misses at a fastball 0-2. So Jenkins has been in 5 games, but all on the offensive side. The Marines at second. Lede is at first. And the 0-2 to Gonzalez, and that drilled him. That pitch was in the dirt, and then it hit Gonzalez after it had bounced. So like that might have got him right around his right knee. So Marine goes to third, Lede to second, Gonzalez on base safely for the 4th time. And now barring a double play, looks like Tanner Smith will get to bat in this inning, barring a double play or some craziness on the bases. Smith, remember, he's got a 9-game hitting streak. And of the 16 hits YOLO has tonight, he didn't have any of them. Blackford swings, and he flies this one toward the line in left. Halsema on the run, and he will not get there in time. It goes foul, strike 1. And the count is at no balls and 1 strike. So 0-1 the count to Braden Blackford, an RBI single in that 3-run 6th. He's 1 for 3, and he takes inside 1-1. Kelsey Whitmore, she went an inning and a third. Allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. Walked 1 and struck out 1 as the pitch is inside for a ball. The 2-1, now the 2-1 pitch up and away, ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Actually, Whitmore, she worked 1/3 of an inning. Now the 3-1 from Jenkins is a strike on the inside corner. 3-2. And I want to correct the line on Whitmore, not only the innings, but also the hits. I'll catch you up in a moment on that. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Jenkins pitch, and Blackford reaches for this one, and he pops it up down the third base side and foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kelsey Whitmore, she lasted 1/3 of an inning and allowed 3 hits. So 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Runners everywhere, and Blackford takes, and that's up and away, ball 4. And that will force home Marine, and it's now 15-1 YOLO. So give Blackford a run batted in. Lede moves to third. Gonzalez to second. And Blackford, that is his 3rd RBI this evening. So Braden Blackford now with 15 RBIs this year. Well, barring a triple play, Tanner Smith will now have a chance to extend that hitting streak. As the pitch to Justin Kirby is inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes the count. As Jenkins misses, or actually gets the strike called on the outside corner. So no balls and 2 strikes the count to Kirby. 15-1 Yolo, bottom 8, and Ian Jenkins, first base side of the rubber, delivers. And that goes behind Kirby all the way to the backstop on the wild pitch. Leday will score easily from third. Gonzalez moves to third. Blackford up to second. And the count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes, so it's now 16-1 Yolo. So the Highwheelers 2 in the first, a run on the third, 2 in the fourth, 6 in the sixth, 3 in the seventh. So far, 2 in the eighth. Again, Jenkins normally an outfielder. The 1-2, and that's popped up foul down the right field side by Kirby. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Kirby is 1 for 3, an infield single and a couple of walks and a run scored. So Braylon Marine, 5 for 6 today. And he has scored 5 runs. That's the most runs for a Highwheeler. The 1-2, high ball, 2-2-2. Leday has 4 hits. He's been on base safely 6 times, and he has scored 4 runs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. And the pitch, and that's swung on and shot back a third. That's gloved by Smith. He'll throw across to Martinez at first in time to get Kirby. Give him a run batted in, but in the score comes Gonzalez. Blackford holds at second base, and now Tanner Smith will get that bonus chance to extend his hitting streak, which is at 9 right now. RBI for Kirby is his 9th. So now Tanner Smith, 4th straight inning in which he's hit, is Smith. And he takes low and all the way to the backstop. That'll be a wild pitch. So Blackford moves to third base now. So 1 ball and no strikes the count. So Smith, as I said, he's the only one of the starting players today for Yolo who's not had a hit. The 1-0, high 2-0, and he knows it. I mean, he knows he's got that hitting streak at 9. He is 0 for 3 today, but he has walked twice. He has an RBI and a run scored. The 2-0 to Tanner, and he pops it up toward the line in left. A long run for Halsema, and the left fielder in fair territory. He makes the catch. So Tanner Smith, well, if he bats again today, folks, we'd really have a story. So Smith is out on a fly ball to left. So here's the guy who had the longest hitting streak of anyone for the Highwheelers coming into today. The team has 16 hits today to go along with a 17-1 Yolo lead. But he doesn't have any of the hits. And now it's Kirkland Banks who bats. By the way, the most runs the Highwheelers have scored this year is not today. You know, I know they're up 17-1, but was a 19-run output Yolo had about 3 weeks ago. Now it's Banks, and he takes low from Jenkins, ball 1. One ball and no strikes the count. One ball and no strikes the count from Jenkins. Again, as I mentioned, grew up near Atlanta. Misses outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Jenkins, in 26 years old, first year of professional baseball. Jenkins, remember, is an outfielder, and he played 1 season at the University of South Carolina. Played 26 games for the Gamecocks, who usually have one of the top teams in the country. And then went on to play at Lander University in NCAA. I believe they're a D3 school in the Peach Belt Conference. Now the 3-0 pitch to Banks, and then it's low outside, ball 4. So he's on base for the 3rd time this afternoon. And now here is Angel Mendoza. 17-1. Yolo out in front. Bottom of the 8th inning, Mendoza, his 6th trip to the plate. And he takes a strike from Jenkins on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike, but Jenkins, I said, primarily an outfielder. The 0-1 on the way, and Mendoza swing and miss on a high fastball, strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes the count. Well, 0-2 on the way, and Jenkins, or Mendoza takes outside 1. I'm not sure if Lander is Division 2 or Division 3, but anyway, he had been at the University of South Carolina, and then last year was at Lander college. The 1-2, inside ball 2. And the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lander is in Greenwood, South Carolina. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Mendoza grounds one foul up along third. And the count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 17-1. Yolo leads Oakland here in the bottom of the 8th. I looked it up, folks. I'm not going to lie. Division II school, Lander University in South Carolina. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mendoza 1 for 4, a couple of RBIs, and the pitch blown away, ball 3. And the count's now at 3-2. So in 3-2 and 2 outs, for what it's worth, Banks will be off automatically. Again, tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. First pitch. We'll have it for you on YouTube Live and also on Flow Sports. Christian Cosby will pitch for Oakland. The right-hander will go up against Yolo lefty Dawson Lane. Blackford at third. Banks takes off from first in the 3-2 pitch, and that's low outside, ball 4. So we've seen 2 hit batters and now 3 walks issued by Jenkins. And now for the 7th time this afternoon, Yolo will go to the top of its order. The 2nd time, though, for the center fielder Kyle Guerra, who pinch hit for Braylon Skinner in the 7th inning and then stayed in the game to play center field. And I think we're going to see a different pitcher. I think Jenkins, Peyton Harden will come in and pitch. And Ian Jenkins, I think, will probably just go out and play center field. So we'll bring Harden on to do the pitching. 17-1 Yolo.
Who's going to center? Because I lost.
So Peyton Harden will come in and do the pitching, so Jenkins ends up working 2/3 of an inning. And we'll give you his line when it becomes complete. Kelsey Whitmore, we're going to update the numbers on her. She worked 1/3 of an inning. Allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. Walked 1, struck out 1, hit 2 batters, allowed a homer and a wild pitch. So, mentioned Peyton Harden will come in and pitch, and then moving from pitcher to center field is Ian Jenkins. So Harden to come on and try and get one more out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 17-1, Yolo out in front over Oakland. So Peyton Harden, I just heard Tyler Peterson, the Oakland broadcaster, mention this will actually be the 2nd pitching appearance for Peyton Harden this season. So Harden, who is a left-handed pitcher for the Nacogdoches, Texas native, went to McNeese State University. 23 years old. Harden been in 1 game this year for Oakland, worked an inning and a 1/3, actually struck out a couple of batters. So on to pitch here. 17 runs, 16 hits, and 1 error for Yolo. 1 run, 5 hits, and 3 errors for Oakland. And again, it'll be Kyle Guerra to come up. So Yolo now 7 straight games where they've had at least 10 hits. He had 80 hits over the 6 games in northern Colorado. And now 96 games for Yolo over their last 7 straight contests. 17 runs, 16 hits, 1 Yolo error, 1 run, 5 hits, and 3 errors for Oakland. So now Peyton Harden to face Kyle Guerra with the bases loaded and 2 out. And the pitch, and Kyle, I'm sure, would love to hit one over the wall, something that he hasn't done this year. Fouls it off left side, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to count. Harden out of the windup. And Guerra swings and slaps this ball to shortstop. It's gloved by Brukel, and he'll take the ball to the second base bag, and that forces Mendoza 6 unassisted, and that concludes matters here in the 8th inning. Third straight inning in which Yolo has sent at least 9 to the plate. 10 in the 6th inning, 9 batters in the 7th, 9 here in the 8th. 3 runs for the Yolo High Wheelers. There was 1 hit, no errors, and Yolo leaves the bases loaded. We go to the 9th, last chance for Oakland. It's Yolo 17 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live and Flow Sports.
I can switch that easy. Everything else is okay though.
Well, we go to the 9th inning. It is the last chance for Oakland. 17-1, Yolo out in front. By the way, when I want to thank Tyler Peterson, the Oakland broadcaster, coming over and mentioning this, because when Jenkins left the pitching mound and went to play center field, Oakland loses its designated hitter because the pitcher went in to play a defensive position other than pitcher. Now Jenkins swings and drives one high and deep to center field, and back to make the catch is Kyle Guerra. So Jenkins gave that one a ride, but at this ballpark, I mean, that would have been long gone in Oakland. I mean, that ball would have been headed to San Leandro in Oakland, but here it's a fly ball out. So Jenkins flies out, 1 down. So Jenkins goes into the DH spot. So they lose the DH. Not that it's really going to matter much with Yolo up 17-1 here in the top of the 9th inning. So Jenkins is out on a fly ball to center. So he bats in the 7th spot, so Gates is now officially out of the game. Now Brad Buchel swings and pokes this ball into right field, a base hit, so that's his first hit tonight. He is now 1 for 4. Hit number 6 for Oakland in a 17-1 Yolo lead. So the High Wheelers, I think safe to say, will win their 4th in a row, which would be their longest winning streak of the year. So Jenkins went 2/3 of an inning, allowed a hit. 3 runs all earned, 3 walks, no strikeouts, 2 hit batters, and 2 wild pitches. Now it's Harden, who is listed as the pitcher right now, and he takes outside ball 1 from Noah Lewis. It's the first hit Lewis has allowed in a High Wheeler uniform. No balls and 1 strike to count to Harden as Lewis delivers, and Harden takes in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Noah Lewis had 2 perfect outings in each of his, had perfect outings in each of his 2 performances, first 2 performances. Swing, ground ball towards second, to his left. Banks sliding attempt, but all he can do is knock the ball down. And that'll be an infield single. So Buchel up to second. Harden has himself an infield hit. And now it's first and second with 1 out. And now for the 5th time this evening, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the right fielder in Austin Davis. He is 0 for 3 with a walk at a 17-1 Yolo lead. Top half of the 9th inning as Lewis delivers, and that's a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. So mentioning earlier, Lewis was let go by the High Wheelers right before the season started, one of the last cuts from spring training. As the 0-1 pitch, and that's a strike called on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. But that doesn't mean that Yolo wasn't keeping tabs on him, so Lewis went up and got signed professionally by the Pecos League, the team in Marysville. Swinging a pop-up to right. Shallow. Smith comes in the shade, and Tanner Smith makes the catch. 2 out. And now Oakland is down to its last out for the second baseman and Dan Covino. And when Ben Ferrer moved into the rotation, left the bullpen to go into the rotation, J.C. Ariza was put on the injured list with a bicep issue. Noah Lewis got signed from the Pecos League, where he had made 3 starts this year and had a 1-1 record. Now he delivers, and that's a strike on the inside corner to Covino. No balls and 1 strike. So tomorrow, back on Flow Sports and YouTube Live. We'll be with you at roughly 4:30 tomorrow. Why don't you pick up the feed on each side? We'll ballpark and say about 4:25. How about that? That way. Want you to join us a little bit early. So 4:25 tomorrow. First pitch is at 4:30. Come join us here at the ballpark. Christian Cosby will be the starter for Oakland. Dawson Lane for Yolo as the pitch to Covino popped up. First base side, foul ground, and that'll reach the seats. And the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. So 0-2 the count. 17 runs, 16 hits, 1 error for Yolo. 1 run, 7 hits, and 3 errors for Oakland, with Jalen Smith on deck. And the 0-2 pitch, high ball 1-2. So again, the Ballers down to their last strike. And Oakland won 4 out of the 6 games in Oakland, and now Yolo would like to, I guess, do better than reverse that, and they're off to a good start. The 1-2 pitch, just off the plate. Strike 3 called, so it looked like that was going to be off the plate. Deliberate strike 3 called by Eric Martinez, and the ball game is over. I don't think Covino's going to argue that with a 17-1 Yolo win, and Lewis's first strikeout tonight is his last this evening. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Yolo out of the first base dugout to give each other high fives in what turned out to be exactly a 3-hour game. So final score here tonight, it was the Yolo High Wheelers 17 and the Oakland Ballers 1. Back with the final totals in a moment. Final score here tonight, Yolo 17 and Oakland 1. Here are the final totals. First for the victorious Yolo High Wheelers, who are now 12-10. 17 runs, 16 hits, 1 error, and 14 left. For the Oakland Ballers, now 14-11. 1 run, 7 hits, 3 errors, and 10 left. Cameron Rapetti, he is the winning pitcher tonight for Yolo to go to 2-1. And the loss to Aaron Eden of Oakland, he drops to 2-3. Time of tonight's game, 3 hours exactly. Playing in front of tonight's crowd, announced as we are told to announce it at 0. Everybody in the YOLO lineup reached base safely for the 5th straight game. And Braylon Marine, a 5-hit night, a triple shy of the cycle. He scored 5 runs. He was 5 for 6. And then Bobby Leday, a Marine, also with a home run. Bobby Leday reached base safely 6 times, the most by a high wheeler this year. Marine's 5 hits, the most by a high wheeler this year. Leday scored 4 runs as well and was hit twice with a pitch. First baseman Jose Gonzalez, a 2-run double, actually a 2-run double and had a double for an RBI. So 3 RBIs for Jose Gonzalez. Third baseman Braden Blackford had 3 RBIs. And left fielder Justin Kirby has scored a run for the 7th straight game. Everybody contributing, as you would, with a 17-run, 16-hit attack. Cameron Rapetti, 6 innings, 1 run unearned, 5 hits, a walk, 9 strikeouts, matching his season high and the team high from his last start at Northern Colorado. And a balk. Chris England, 1 inning, 3 walks, and Noah Lewis, 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Lewis so far 3 outings with 4 shutout innings. Final score, YOLO 17, Oakland 1. Our next broadcast on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports is tomorrow. Come join us 4:25 p.m. We'll get the feed going. And 4:30 first pitcher. Come join us at the ballpark. Right-hander Christian Cosby for Oakland at 2-1. Left-hander Dawson Lane at 0-1 for YOLO. Till then, Doug Greenwald saying the final score once again, 17-1. YOLO beats Oakland. We'll talk to you tomorrow. So long.
get any negativity in the Slack, so that means you did something right. So sometimes no communication is good communication. That kind of stuff. Before you clear off, I don't know how you're going for time. That
I
is
had
wonderful.
4
Yeah.
extras there
And
because Mendoza was throwing out 6 UA, so it was FC.
I was just saying to Ryan, if you wanted to, you could take the cameras off the tripod, but you could keep the tripod set up and we could just put it
Alright, and then let's see.
if that's easier.
Video.
Don't worry about taking out the SD cards. Just make sure the camera has stopped recording and turned off, and then you can just pretty much put those in that little camera case in there. If you're struggling with space with the clamps, just got to get a little bit creative and sort of stack them.
You're ready.
Yeah, just let me know if you need any help. But we just got to get a high home. I'll do the setup build later, so don't stress about that. If you do this one, that'd be great. Awesome, thanks, guys.
Yeah. So I now keep track.
That's the opposite of hilarious.
I was not there at the time.
Are you reading script one? National Anthem. He knew Willie Mays first. So did Jerome. So. Yeah. So Jerome and Dad both knew Willie Mays.
Woo!
They were the champion.
Well,
Are you from Phoenix originally?
Tempe.
So.
No kidding. All right, I went to ASU, so.
Oh, alright, alright.
Alright, cool. I'll have it ready. If not, it's only one player. If it's only the two, I can get that done before game time.
I'll figure out Turner and I'll ask him and then I'll text you.
Right on. I was Colorado.
Where are you?
I was Colorado. Nah. Well, it's all business too, you guys are there, right?
No maintenance and stuff and
Oh, yeah, that is good.
no long theory.
Really?
We are ready to be all right, man.
Is that 4 wins in a row now? For fuck's sake.
It's right here.
Okay.
I don't care if it's one nothing.
Yeah, well, fucking part of the ball. No. God, that is a crazy sunset, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
God damn. That's not so
Hi,
good.
Latoya, are we good to turn off the scoreboard? Yes. Thank you.
I'm not sure.
Thank you, guys.
No, thank you. Why?
The lights don't do anything.
They're really weak, yeah.
It is what it is. It's whatever.
That's all you, big fella.
Chris,
Is that 4 wins in a row?
I believe so. I mean, it says on the website how many we've won.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Excuse me.
Like,
Can
you know,
I?
you know the
No.
standings?
Ruda? Huh? What?
So,
Yeah.
Huh? What?
We have an attendance.
If I go,
No.
where we go?
how do I?
86.
86? I can do that.
How do you view like that wider shot of like all the wins and losses?
Hold on. I am gonna edit
No.
something.
Oh yeah, no.
It doesn't count as stuff.
Oh, do you want the
Plus the
attendance
25
posters?
staff. 110.
110?
Plus security.
I'll go 140. How's that?
Plus all the cyclists going past. Like, I think that's
145.
technically our property, so. Oh,
Yeah, we won 4 in a row.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Somebody took my hot dog.
Oh,
Is that
that's
mine?
yours? You know what?
That one's yours.
That's mine. Sorry.
Dog.
Sorry.
Whoa, don't take my hot dog.
No.
What were you looking for? Scores? What are we looking for? Not you. What did you need?
Nah, already got the answer.
Okay.
So Doug, I think we just leave this set up like it is. It's up to you whether you want to take that home